Hello and welcome to a brand new survival horror tabletop experience created by yours truly. I'm R, your game master for the evening. Tonight, I'm joined by my three victims.
I'm B, I go by they, them pronouns.
I'm Chase, I go by he, him pronouns.
I'm Sasha, I go by she, her pronouns.
Before we begin, I just want to say that this series is for viewers aged 15 and up and may contain some unsettling scenes and themes. Please watch at your own discretion and feel free to check the description before watching any episode of the series for a list of content warnings. We will be making a few short instructional videos on how to play this homebrew horror RPG system for yourselves, which you can check out over on patreon.com/Nyxrising. There you'll get access to a Beyond the Light game guide, read more lore on the characters, get merch discounts for the channel, and much more. But, without further ado, we are Nyxrising, and this is Beyond the Light. I take you back now to the 23rd of September 1998. The early days of fall have brought cold and miserable weather, grey skies overhead, and a wicked wind that tugs at your clothes and bites at your skin. You are stood on the deck of a small passenger ferry, crossing the dark waters of Lake Huron to Adler Island, home to the small lakeside town of Aubrey, and best known for its beautiful hiking trails and strange urban legends. The ferry runs once a week in off-season, and you were just able to catch this one before it set off. The three of you are strangers to one another, as you stand separately on the deck. One of you sat on a bench, one of you watching the water over the railing, and the other stood leaned on the outside of the passenger cabin, a little green from the feel of the waves and doing everything you can not to watch it. The summer is over, but there are a small handful of people also on deck, as the ferry glides quietly through the water, through the rolling fog that seems to sit on top of it as a permanent fixture. You see a young family on late vacation, the couple very attentive to their small daughter. A couple of hikers in gaudy red and blue coats and matching rucksacks look eager to arrive, poring over maps of the hiking trails. And less interested looks an older man in a suit and a heavy-set woman in waterproof waders. And then there's the three of you, if you would like to describe yourselves.
So sat on the bench is a man that appears to be in his mid-30s. He's got striking hazel eyes and short dark hair. He's got a strong jaw that's heavily stubbled, and he stands at about 6 foot tall, wearing a loose green M65 jacket over a plain black t-shirt and a worn pair of blue denim jeans with heavy boots. He's got with him a brown rucksack with a canvas belt that has this wallet chain hanging from it tucked into his back pocket. And a little Canadian flag stuck to the back of his jacket.
Cute.
Just so everybody knows.
Just so everyone knows, he's Canadian.
There was another man looking out over the railing and trying not to throw up. A man in his late 20s, handsome, around 5'11", with an athletic frame, brown skin, dark wavy hair just past his ears, dark brown eyes, and a neat beard. He's dressed in a loose yellow ringer camp t-shirt with a bomber jacket in navy blue with red cuffs and a red and white zigzag over the chest. He has with him a blue hiking rucksack and a black duffel bag, plus a briefcase-sized plastic case.
Also looking out over the water is a 30-year-old woman with long, well-kept brown hair, a set of clear round glasses covering her blue eyes, a light dusting of freckles over her pale face. She stands at just shy of 5'6" and is dressed in a loose black sweater, a long baggy check coat, and high-waisted grey wool trousers. She has with her one small suitcase on wheels and a leather handbag.
As the ferry moves slowly towards its destination, the fog around you seems to grow thicker and thicker, so dense in the air that for a moment you completely lose visibility. The foghorn on the ferry blasts as a thin layer of water dampens your clothes and your hair. A shiver runs through you, forcing you to draw your arms around yourselves for warmth as you look about yourselves at the vague silhouettes of your fellow travellers, who are no more than dark shapes in the thick haze of fog until a burst of light cuts through the fog like a knife. It moves across the deck in a curved arch and disappears again for a moment, lighting up the people around you as it flashes past. Then again, and again, the ferry breaches the fog barrier, and at last you see the lighthouse, a beacon through the dark of heavy rain clouds sitting high on a cliff on the massive land that must be Adira Island. The island comes into view properly now, thick with forests, over a sprawling expanse of rock, dots of white and grey and brightly coloured rooftops becoming houses on the shoreline as you approach. You see the high steeple of an old wooden church, and the low flat shape of a row of shops, the dark tarmac of roads completely devoid of cars. The closer you get, the brighter the light of the lighthouse seems to become. So bright, in fact, that you're forced to raise your hand to cover your face as it swings hypnotically over you over and over again. It does no good, the light seeming to bore through your hand, through your eyes, right into your soul. This is the last thing you remember.
God. Ow.
The first thing you become aware of as you awaken is the cold of the concrete beneath you. The second is the dark and the presence of other people beside you as you blink your eyes open to the hissing sound of TV static, which casts an eerie dancing light all over the space that you're in. Above you, you see a high concrete ceiling housing pipes and an overhead vent. Around you, you're aware of repetitive, gaudy wallpaper and dark lumps that must be furniture, although you're laying on the ground. The faint smell of damp and salt hangs in the air. As you start to sit up, you vaguely recognise the two people with you as people you caught sight of on the ferry over to Adira Island. Although streaked with dirt and grazes, something you can feel mirrored in the throb of your own face and the grimy feeling on your skin, and a dull ache up your arms below your sleeves. What would you like to do?
Check out my arm.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit up and just roll my shoulders out. Hey.
Well, where are we?
And do I know?
Anyone know what happened?
I don't know, I feel a bit foggy.
I was on the boat coming over here.
I recognise both of you.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay?
I think so. Take my arm
Yeah.
and just roll the
As you
sleeve up.
start undoing your cuff, rolling up your sleeves, you see immediately thin lines of your veins pulsing with something dark, spread all up your arms. It seems to shift and writhe under the surface of your skin. The longer you stare at it, the more you realise the pattern of the veins looks like something else, like roots of an old tree spread out across cracked soil. It disappears up into the fabric of your sleeves, and it's painful to the touch.
Oh,
What? So does it go from the wrist?
It doesn't seem to have a starting point, just like spread out all of your veins, sort of thin where they start and finish.
Glancing down at myself, am I wearing what I remember wearing, or?
You're not wearing the exact outfit that you were wearing on the ferry. You can see on yourself hiking boots that you're not sure that you owned before.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing like a pair of jeans and your regular coat, but it's not the identical outfit, but it's not too far different.
Okay.
How about us two?
I'd say about the same. You've got your overcoats on that you were wearing on the ferry, but there are changes that makes you think this isn't the exact same moment that you came off the boat. And everybody in hiking boots, both of you two don't recall owning this.
I don't own hiking boots.
No, neither do I. I'm gonna stand upright and just pat myself down, because this is weird and I want to see if I've got anything on me.
Okay, you manage to get up to your feet. You're shaking a bit, but you feel woozy, but not from any source that you can gather. You haven't got a head injury. Eventually you can find yourself standing steady, pat yourself down. You find in your pockets an energy bar and an iron key. Looking closer at the iron key, it's quite a simple key apart from the fact that the long stem of the key has a snake carved all the way around it.
Huh.
That's all you have on you.
Snake key?
Sure.
Question mark? Okay, so having pat myself down, kind of look over, offer a hand to help up whoever's closest.
Yeah?
Yeah. Jay, by the way.
Chris Ward.
Robin.
Right.
As you stand up, you realise where the three of you were lying on the floor, on the concrete floor, there's a large, quite thick circle of salt around you. It's near perfect, apart from one small break where it looks like someone's foot has pushed through it.
Weird.
That's real weird.
Did we do that?
I don't know.
Or is this some weird joke?
Was it the person who put us here?
Put us here?
I don't know, like, I don't remember coming here.
No, me neither. Let's look around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also see if I have anything on me.
Yes. As you start to look around, say, Chris,
Yeah.
you find quite easily a like small orange plastic pot of naproxen painkillers.
Oh!
There's only 3 left in it. You also find a Polaroid photograph of your brother that you didn't arrive to the island with.
How old does it look?
He looks the same as he did when you last saw him.
Okay.
And Robin, you find nothing in your pockets except for a torn out page of your notebook. You recognise the lines on the paper. This is definitely your notebook.
Okay.
Unfolding it, you can see that it says, written quite clearly, but quite frantically, safe code, date of town founding, 1865.
Hang on.
That's all that's written on one side, but as you turn it over, there are a few more things.
Okay.
It says, in less frantic handwriting, Cedric, obsession with monsters, question mark?
Okay. Cedric, obsession with monsters.
And these all seem to be questions. Underneath that, were they killing people before they died?
Oh God. Hello.
Third one, mirror room, what was this used for? And the last one, underlined, Alice Hawthorne is alive.
Okay. Like, is there any, like, date on any of that? Or is that all that's on the pages?
The backside page has a date at the top that says, it would be the 24th of September.
24th of September.
The front side with the safe code, nothing.
Okay.
You said that our only source of light right now was a TV?
Yeah. So you pat yourselves down, pulling these strange things out of your pockets that don't make any sense to you. As you look around, you can see now, as your eyes adjust to the flickering light, a sort of gaudy looking room decorated with like an Art Nouveau wallpaper. It's kind of hard to tell in this light, but it looks like it's yellow and green. It's an uncomfortable contrast against the grey concrete floor and the high concrete ceiling. There's no windows at all that you can see. Instead, the room has 4 normal wooden doors, as well as one large circular metal door, painted in a flaking green paint that sits airtight in the frame. You see this thick circle of salt around you, and you notice 2 discarded salt canisters laying off to the side. The room is L-shaped and has a handful of living and dining room furniture in it that is both futuristic looking and dated in the style of the 60s. Sort of curved edges, old looking wood. The couch has an equally gaudy but contrasting floral pattern like the walls. There's 2 armchairs, a round coffee table, a floor lamp that's off right now. On the coffee table, Jay, you see your camera. And next to that you see an old oil lantern by the look of it.
I'm gonna go turn on the floor lamp and grab my camera and check and see if it's okay.
You try the switch, the lamp comes on and lights the room up properly. You can now see this bright yellow and green and brown patterned wallpaper, this very gaudy floral couch.
A little warning before the next time.
Sorry.
You can also see in here now, not far from where you woke up, a small wooden game table, 2 matching chairs and a chessboard laid out on it, a sideboard with an old record player on top of it, and a rack of vinyl records below it. A tall dresser with 2 doors in one corner, like a kitchen round the side of the L shape and a round dining table. And just this TV static coming from like a small boxy TV on a rolling TV stand in front of the couch. Below that on the stand is a VHS player.
Retro.
Finally, besides the huge circular metal door is a smaller square one, a safe door that's already ajar.
Okay.
So this is weird, because I don't remember anything after the boat.
No, neither do I.
And this seems like a very... I don't even know what this place is. It's very...
Is it?
Bunker?
Yeah. We're in like a... Is this a bomb shelter?
I mean, people back in the day were convinced that the Cold War was going to come here, so...
I mean, it's all 60s in here.
Yeah, true.
Well, that's a lot to unpack.
Did we just black out during a nuclear apocalypse or something?
You're an optimist. I like that.
I think of myself as a realist.
Maybe we should have a look around
Yeah.
and see what's up.
I'll take a door if you take a door.
Sure. Checking it over, is my camera okay?
The camera's okay and there is a VHS cassette in it.
Oh! Oh my god!
What?
Oh, my camera's got a tape on it, hang on a sec.
So you two see this like large shoulder-mounted VHS recording camera.
Hell yeah.
This is like premium technology of the day.
Hell yeah.
It's beige and it's got like coloured stripes along the side, a bit of the eye.
Oh, hell yeah.
The case is nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
Cool. I'll pop out the tape and plug it in.
Okay. You see Jay opening the side, taking out this chunky VHS cassette tape, sliding it into the VHS machine under the TV. And it seems to be at the end, so you wind it back and it starts.
Get it out.
Yeah,
Pencil.
kind of say on my shoulders to these two, like, I was intending on filming a lot when I came here, so maybe there'll be, I don't know, something on this.
Right. I mean, that thing looks impressive.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The video starts. It seems to start up from the moment you guys are coming into the bunker. You see another circular door as you step inside and you're coming down on like a long concrete tunnel down a set of stairs. You seem to be running. You turn when these two call to see them slamming the door shut and twisting it to close it, like twisting the handle to close it. The camera's down at the floor for a moment. The shot moves and you can see these veins pulsating on your arms. You're moving the camera around sort of so much that it's kind of blurring, but you can see it on all of you. You can hear the sound of something hammering on the outside of the bunker door, just like over and over again. The footage cuts and it moves to Robin pulling open the safe, and inside the safe, amongst other things, you can see a box. There's something written on the wooden lid. As Robin opens it, you can't see what's inside. The camera cuts again, and you're frantically pouring salt around yourselves. Chris turns to you and says, "Jay, turn off the camera and help us." That's the end of the clip. The TV returns to static.
So, we did that.
There's a date, you realise, on the footage.
What's the date?
It's the 27th of September.
And we came here on the 23rd, as far as we know.
23rd was the ferry.
Just very quietly eject the VHS tape and pull it back out.
Do any of us have like a watch or anything?
You do indeed have a fancy baby GG shot.
Oh my god! Yes!
It's 3:45 in the morning. The date on the watch says 27th.
Was there a time on the videotape?
You can stick it back in and work out the time. It's like just past midnight,
Okay.
just into the Sunday.
So we've been here maybe 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, but who's seen George Romero's Living Dead film?
No.
Yes.
I don't want to say it, but
What?
I hate that.
I mean, this doesn't seem like a good thing, if that's what you're getting at.
No, it does not seem like a good thing. Because if we're now this, like, an infection inside of us, and we came into a bunker with something hitting the other side.
I don't know, maybe... Like, there's got to be some sort of medical explanation for this. And maybe we were just... I don't know... Maybe we pissed off one of the locals and they were chasing after us and we just ended up here.
In a bomb shelter.
Well, if it's the only option, you're gonna take it.
And the forgetting? Because my head feels fine.
Stress?
I don't know. I got nothing right now. Like, let's look around a bit more and see what.
Yeah.
Is. Like, I want to see what's in that safe.
Go on then, be my guest.
Sure.
I'll go and take a look at the safe.
Okay. Quite a large safe set into the wall, open, like I said. You pull it the rest of the way open, and inside the safe there are a few small shelves in like a horseshoe shape around the inside, leaving a space in the centre. In the centre there's a large wooden box with an arched lid on top, oak tree carved into it beautifully.
Is there anything in it?
It has a small lock, but it is unlocked. You just flick it open. You slowly lift the lid up. Inside the box is a velvet black inlay for what looks like some sort of large knife. There's nothing present.
Okay, good, okay.
You can see like the indent where it should sit looks like a snaking blade, like sort of quite a large handle, but it's missing.
Does this mean anything to anyone? Or is there a knife in the room anywhere else? Or on anyone?
I've only got a photograph and some pills on me and like a knife. We can have a look around though.
Hmm.
You also notice in the safe, on the little shelves around the top, you see jars with some sort of like golden, thick, syrupy looking liquid on the inside. A very old hand-bound book. Some strange sort of jars and pots that some of them are dusty. There's kind of a smell of rotting herbs. Preserved jars containing a number of strange looking things which on closer inspection is like a jar stuffed full of dead beetles and one containing pieces of preserved plant, incense. And then on the inside of the box lid you see a message written on a piece of paper, pasted in there, sort of like glued on so it can't be lost. It's handwritten. It says, imbuing must begin at least one dusk before the cleansing night to allow proper release into the system.
Hello?
Pardon?
Are you writing this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 fluid ounce of ichor to be consumed or injected. Over imbuing a subject may have unwarranted side effects. Don't allow the subject to leave the walls after consumption.
Leave the walls of what?
Once the roots reach the heart, the subject is ready, but not before.
Don't care for that shit at all.
Are you reading this out?
Yeah.
Chris is just gonna like open his shirt and just look at himself like,
Your chest is fine.
Okay. So we had this in the video that you shot.
So, what, 4 hours ago?
Yeah.
It's not in my chest yet.
Nor me.
I'm not even gonna bother to look. I'm not dignifying that with a response. I'm gonna go open a door and just have a look.
Okay, pick a number 1 to 4.
Ooh.
A 3!
3. Okay.
I don't know, I felt very Travis McElroy.
You walk up to a door sort of diagonal from where you are and just push it open. Inside is a dark room, but you're able to feel around and feel a light switch. Get it switched on. Wallpapered similarly to the main room, you're seeing a double bedroom. simple furniture. There is a double bed with frilled bed sheets, doesn't look slept in. A large Persian rug on the concrete floor. Dressing table, wardrobe, 2 bedside tables with a drawer and a lamp on top.
I will have a look around and see if there's anything inside of anything.
Okay. Opening up the wardrobe, you see some sparse clothing in there, like not a whole person's wardrobe worth. Both male and female. Quite a dated style. You imagine probably as old looking as the place itself. Doing a little bit more digging around, there's nothing in the dresser or one of the bedside tables, but the other one has an old newspaper folded up.
So anything in particular on the newspaper?
So the newspaper is dated 1958.
Okay.
It has a headline about the launch of NASA's Pioneer 1, but it also has some local news. It states that a falling out within the Hawthorne family has caused one of their daughters, Evelyn Hawthorne, to leave the island.
Okay. I'll just keep a hold of that. For now, relevant to my interests. Come back around. Found an old newspaper.
Okay. How old?
Few decades.
Wow.
Random question. We remember, like, roughly why we're here, yeah?
You remember why you're personally there, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Either of you here interested in the local legends and whatnot?
Nope.
Seems to be the sort of tourist thing.
Like, not exactly. I'm here to map the family history for the Hawthorne family.
Brilliant, speaking my language. Just a newspaper clipping about one of the Hawthorns who left the island.
Oh, okay. That's good.
That's helpful to you, but I'm here sort of chasing the family story as well.
Okay. What, are you making a movie or something? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So, interesting.
Cool.
Spooky.
I'll read over the newspaper article as well.
You see that, and you also see, looking at it a little bit more in depth, that it's dated in early October 1958, and the little article about Evelyn Hawthorne suggests that following the events at the end of 1958, September 1958, Evelyn Hawthorne left the island without further explanation.
Okay.
That's basically all that's of interest to the Hawthorns. The rest of it is local news from that era.
Okay. I'll put that in one of my pockets, I guess. To
Yeah.
Put.
You can like tear off that front sheet and tuck that away.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 more doors.
I'll go for door number 2, my lord.
Door number 2.
My lord.
You come up to this one and it's a bit stiff. You want to try and force it open?
I'll give it a round with my right shoulder.
Make it a strength check.
Game.
Strong. Okay, I've got a +3 to strong. So that's 6. Not to flex.
You're still feeling a bit woozy from waking up. You slam your shoulder against it and you're not sure if it's stuck or locked.
Ah!
Okay.
Yeah, no, fine. Fine. I got this. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna like prove myself. That's cocked. That was cocked.
It settled.
It's a 7.
You're pretty confident this time that this door is locked. It doesn't sound like a tough lock, but it is locked.
It's locked. I won't bother. I'm immediately gonna turn around and walk to door number 1 and just try and go in there instead.
You open door number 1 and it leads you into a small bathroom. This is a boxy room with very basic concrete walls. There's a toilet, a pedestal sink, and a compact bath with a yellow shower curtain around it.
Okay.
Closed.
Occupied. I'm gonna close the door. I'm gonna use the amenities.
Okay. So
Chris piss.
you take a leak.
I take a leak. It's 3 a.m. I take a
You
leak.
take a leak. Fair enough.
And then I'm gonna go to the mirror and like try and wash my hands if the sink's working.
Yeah. So above the sink there is a mirror. You go to turn the taps on the sink. Spits out some dust.
I'll just do that thing and just wipe it on my hand. That's fine. And then I'm just gonna check my appearance in the mirror.
Yeah. So you see a mirrored cabinet above the sink. You look in and you see scratches and grazes across your face, a slight bruise on your temple. You look like you haven't shaved in the last day or so. But apart from that, you look okay. Dirtied up, your clothes are a bit stained.
But like in a hot way.
In a hot way, why not?
Nice. Okay.
Spicy hand.
Just gonna just take a second and then head back out.
Cool.
Water's broken.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Just so you know. It's a bathroom, so.
One bathroom.
Try and kick down the door that Chris couldn't get into.
Okay, make me a strength check.
So rude.
12.
12. You feel the door splintering, but it doesn't open yet.
Again.
Yeah, like you can feel that it's breaking where you keep bashing against it because it's not a good quality door, but...
Kick.
I'll give you a hand.
Okay, we can kick it together.
Yeah.
If that makes you feel better.
Make a strength check at advantage.
15.
15. It finally cracks and you stumble forward, both of you, as like the wood splinters away from the lock and the door swings open.
What is inside? Is there a light switch we can use?
You reach around, you do find a light switch, and immediately there's like a buzz and a ping as these strip lights overhead come on brightly with a sort of nasty, strong white light. One side of this room is piled high with metal shelving. It's stacked with numerous jars and cans of preserved food, plastic tubs of water, blankets, changes of bedding, all manner of other long life supplies. This part of the room has plain concrete flooring and walls. Strip lights above you also light up a half wall that nearly reaches the ceiling on the other side of you, and the room snakes around in a horseshoe shape. You can't see the other side of it from here.
I will give you $20 if you eat one of the things out of the jars.
No.
30.
No,
I mean, that's
I'm
big.
good.
That's big money back in '98.
Big money.
I'm good.
Fine.
Take a look at everything.
Yeah, we'll go in, have a look over all of the shelving, see if there's anything that jumps out.
So you continue down this length of the room, looking down the shelves. You see all this preserved food, these blankets, nothing particularly useful.
It
You
looks
get
like
to-
people have been like stocking up.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like at some point, you don't see any labels, like modern labels on food or anything, but it does look like at some point someone was stocking up this place as a contingency plan.
Okay.
You move around the half wall, and on the other side, it's like stepping into a different room altogether.
Alright.
The walls here are panelled with wood, as is the floor. One of the wood panelled walls houses a painting in a gilded gold frame. It depicts an old manor house with a large tree in the garden. Sitting on the floor underneath the frame is a metal crate with a latch on it. And down the far end of like the horseshoe hook of the building, you can see a couple of bookshelves and a desk.
This is different.
This, yeah. Like a completely different vibe altogether.
It's like somebody's old office that you'd find in an old house like the one pictured.
No, please, enter my office through the pantry.
Bit of a choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go through and have a look through all of like the drawers or anything on the desk.
Okay, make a cognition check to see what you find.
All
Yeah? If you're both looking.
Can I use my power of visual observation?
You can have advantage for your visual
To
observation
be
skill.
looking.
I have +0 to my cognition, so
17.
5.
Okay.
Flags.
You find yourself, Chris, just sort of like looking at the spines of the books. You get distracted by the fact that the spines of the books have a language you can't read on them.
This is weird.
You notice everything here is covered in a thick layer of dust. Jay, instead you start pulling open drawers and looking around sort of more carefully. You find on the surface of the desk there's an ashtray with a half-finished cigar, as if somebody was planning on coming back for it. There's a picture frame with a photograph of a man with short dark hair and a woman posed next to him with sort of wild blonde hair, quite gaunt looking. In the drawers you see some tools that you don't recognise what they're used for. Another box of cigars and some rolled up paper, which as you unroll it, it's got strange anatomical sketches on it. Looks like body parts of something human mixed with something else blended in. Animalistic features or teeth in unnatural places, lines across the skin that look like stitches or bark.
What you got?
Creepy drawing.
Okay.
Just show it to Chris and...
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's...
You could hear all of this from the main room, Robin, as you're sort of taking a peek around.
I'll take a look in door number 4 then.
Okay,
If they're doing that.
number 4 leads into a long, thin room. It looks like another bedroom because you can see 2 sets of red metal bunk beds. They're neatly made, as if they're ready to be slept in. And finding the light switch on in here, all the concrete walls are painted white except one, which has a huge mural of a tree. There's a couple of cabinets in here which you sort of rifle through and find dated clothes for people of different ages, a handful of children's toys. To find anything else in particular, make me a coordination check.
I shall. That's a 10 for me.
10, okay. You spend a while looking and you find one small flashlight. You flick it on. It doesn't look like the batteries are fading because the light's quite dull, but it does work.
Okay. Oh, hang on to that then. Put that in my inventory. Flashlight. Flashlight.
Leaving this little room where Jay's looking at pictures, just kind of like, head over to like the little kitchen-y area
Yeah.
and just have a rifle through all the cupboards, see if there's any like anything useful in there or.
As you
light
dig
sources.
through the kitchen cupboard, you find one pack of matches.
I take them.
You also find some tins of soup and canned fruit that look very old.
I don't take them.
Dried pantry supplies, like crockery and cutlery for what looks like 6 people.
Okay. I take the book of matches at least. Cool. I'll just keep rifling while you're doing your thing.
Jay,
Yeah.
back in the study space, looking around a little more, you look at the books and you notice that while some of them are in language you can't read, other ones seem to be scientific journals about human and animal anatomy, books about botany, books about poisonous plants. Amongst them is a couple of bottles of strange liquids, nothing you particularly want to touch.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else in particular to find, then
Just the chest.
just the chest. Oh, we'll just have a look in the chest.
Okay, the latch opens, and inside the crate you see basically just a pile of stuff that looks like personal belongings.
Like,
Just all sort of crammed in there. You would see different bag straps and coats and things like that.
huh? Just sort of pulling it out.
Make me a cognition check.
19.
19. You notice various bags and clothing, bits of jewellery, wallets. All the clothing looks oddly dated through different eras. For example, one bag looks to be kind of 70s fashion, another contains a dress that definitely looks more 50s. Looking through the wallets you see a couple of different IDs and credit cards and stuff, and you're able to get a couple of names. All the people in like the driving licenses, the photographs, like different random people, doesn't seem to be any connection.
Okay.
A couple of names: Oscar Nelson, Lucy Horn, Francis Skinner. Don't mean anything to you.
No. We'll just put it back and sort of wander out and find these two again.
You find yourself in the main room once more.
Just want to take a look at the tree mural before I come out of the bedroom.
Yeah. Just seems to be like a nicely painted but kind of amateur, like large grass field. Nothing else around it, no buildings, some like distant trees, as if it's in a clearing, like the only tree there by itself.
Okay.
And you're able to fairly easily identify it from the leaves as an oak tree.
Okay. Just sort of make a mental note of it and leave.
Come out and join the others again in this main room.
Found a flashlight.
Oh, great.
It's kind of low on battery, but maybe we can find some more.
We'll just go to the shop and go back to town, surely.
There's an oil lamp over there as well, but
Okay.
if it's got anything in it, it could be.
Great, I've found matches.
Oh, cool. I found a bunch of other people's stuff.
Okay.
Why didn't you lead with that?
Oh, because you two started talking first. I'm just being polite.
What do you mean other people's stuff?
Just like a bunch of people's IDs and bags and some random clothes. But this is 60s, right? This sort of.
bunker,
Well, no, we're
yeah.
in the 90s.
I'm talking about the location we're in.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
very much 60s.
but that's all sort of different era stuff. So I guess people have been coming down here every now and then, or I don't know. It's just a bit weird.
I mean, maybe we found a chest of people's clothes, like they were packing to stay here for a while. Maybe they've been doing it over the years just in case.
Yeah, they just all didn't seem related or anything. So
I know that my history skill is mainly in ancestry, but like, would I maybe have an idea as to when the bunker that we're in was built? Like, by the architecture of it, or like the materials used?
It's very, very basic. You can only identify the furniture as being sort of late 50s and early 60s style.
Or like the big circular door, like, or the lock on it. Like, I know it's a stretch.
Make a history check, not at advantage.
Okay. So it's just cognition, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So +5. 7.
So, you don't know anything about bunkers.
no.
So it was a try. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a Cold War bunker or a World War II, World War One.
Let's just try and get out of here and get our bearings.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's just random. Maybe it's for the town or something.
Yeah, I mean, can't do much but speculate. So that's the door we came through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's try and get out the same way.
sure.
Yeah, so we'll take the flashlight, the oil lamp, the matches.
Mm-hmm.
Are we
Your
taking any
camera.
food?
Camera. It's all a bit gone.
Yeah, I don't care how preserved something is if it's been there for 30 years.
Like, do we remember any sort of... So we arrived on the 23rd, it's now the 27th. Do we have any recollection of like having a safe place within that time? Like, do we know where we're going, or...
Just make a cognition check to see if you can remember anything.
14?
14, not really. Your memory's completely hazy. You know you were approaching Adler Island. You know that you had a hotel booked, but that's the extent of what you know was before you arrived.
Okay. So, I suppose if we... I had a hotel room booked. Did you guys have somewhere
Yeah.
you were saying? So, we can hopefully get back there and get some food and a decent bed for the night.
Yeah,
Yeah, town's best bet in any case, so.
definitely.
Sure. Okay, so just the flashlight and...
Oil lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I check my watch, see what time it is?
Yeah, it's been about 20 minutes, so just after 4.
It's gonna be dark still.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
You head towards the lantern on the table. You notice that, unlike most everything else here, this lantern doesn't have any dust on it. It's made of a black iron, and looking at it properly, you can see it's got clawed feet
Fancy.
and a thin iron handle. The glass panels on the side kind of remind you of the arched windows of a Gothic church.
Ooh!
Fancy.
Aesthetic.
It's got a strangely sweet and slightly salty smell to it. And on the inside you can see it's got just a little bit of reserve of like a burnt orange coloured oil.
Does it look like the oil that was in the little safe in the room?
No.
Okay.
So that looked like a sort of syrupy consistency. This looks like it's oil, it's just kind of more of a burnt orange colour.
Huh. This thing's pretty expensive looking.
That's
Wood.
nice.
Antique, maybe.
Yeah. Not much left oil-wise, so let's do what we can to preserve it.
Not much left battery-wise either.
That will be fine. Alright, so let's get this door open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You move towards the round door. Sort of find yourselves bracing a little bit, having watched that video clip of you barricading yourselves in here. But you turn the handle, and it's quite heavy, but it clicks open. And you're able to pull into the room this huge, heavy circular door. Outside of it, as you saw on the camera footage, a long, dark tunnel stretches into near blackness, save for a faint orange glow at the other end. You hear the quiet sound of dripping water as you step in, but for the most part, the tunnel seems to dampen the sound everywhere, unnervingly quiet to the point where even the echo of your own footsteps kind of puts you on edge. Feels like you're hearing footsteps ahead of you when it's just your own feet.
Turn the flashlight on.
Turn the flashlight on. Doesn't do a whole bunch, but it's enough to lead you forwards, and you reach the bottom of a set of stairs. And you can see at the top of it another huge circular metal door.
So that must be where the banging was. But it seems pretty quiet now.
Yeah. I mean, it has been a few hours.
Let's go take a look.
Yeah.
On the second door, as you climb up, you notice the source of the glowing. At first, it looks like it's seeping in from the seam where the door fits into the frame. But as you get closer, you notice it's actually coming from something that looks inlaid into the frame itself.
Take a closer look.
Yeah.
As you do, you notice it looks like a set of, you think, maybe runes, which have been inlaid into the door and the frame itself, so that they're complete when the door is closed. They're glowing orange, inexplicably.
Do I have any ideas to the source? Like, where the runes had come from? Like, whether they're like Norse runes or...
Like, that would be probably your immediate guess. They look like what you would imagine would be like Scandinavian sort of runes. But not being a person who knows a ton about runes, you're like, that's some runes.
Sure is some runes.
This is a neat trick, getting them to light up like this.
It's a cool effect.
I guess to light the tunnel up if there's no power?
Yeah.
Although, how is it powering
I don't know.
glow like that?
Maybe there's some sort of generator somewhere.
I guess there must be.
Must be for this kind of place.
Alright, let's try and get this door open.
Cool.
So is it another like twist?
Yeah, it's like a
bar?
long metal bar that twists into place when it's closed, and you have to twist it back to unlock it.
Twisty twisty.
Just be prepared in case there's something on the other side, I guess.
Like I said, can't hear anything, so should be fine.
As you put your hands on it, you hear a loud bang
What was that,
on the other
Lissa?
side.
Do we remember it as being the one that we had on the videotape?
Sounds familiar, like the sound of something heavy banging on metal.
So whatever it was hasn't left in the last few hours.
I don't know that. Could just be a person.
Bang bang.
Silence. Silence continues. Nothing bangs back.
Yeah. Twist a little bit more. Could just be the sound of a door opening.
Sure.
You do hear a heavy sound of like the inner mechanism of the door moving. It's a little bit stiff, but you keep twisting and it unlocks.
You keep holding the door, get ready to close it. I'm gonna stand ready in case anything comes in.
Okay.
Okay. If I get living dead, I'm gonna get you.
Shake my head and keep twisting.
You keep twisting, and this one, once it's unlocked, pushes outwards.
Push it out.
You push it out slowly. You smell immediately like fresh pine smell of the forest outside, plain oxygen that hasn't been stifled underground. You get it all the way open, the weak flashlight reaching into the dark. You notice as the door opens, all the light of the runes around it just dissipates. You don't see anything outside.
Is it safe? I'm guessing it's still dark out.
Jay
It's still
will
dark out.
tentatively take a couple steps forward.
As you move forward, some little bits of dirt roll down from on top of the door, sort of crumble down in front of the open doorway. Maybe just the seal of the door knocking it loose.
Hello?
Maybe just disturbed the earth by opening such a heavy door. Take a
You
bold
hear, as you take a bold step forward, you hear like the sort of desperate breathing of someone who's struggling, and you see long, bony fingers reaching in from the top of the door frame, on top of the door, sliding onto the concrete. Jay, you look up towards it as you step out. You can't see much but sort of a misshapen head in the dark, what looks like a mass of tree roots, and blunt teeth in a dripping mouth staring down at you.
Take a bold step backwards.
You take a step backwards.
And another one.
You two see Jay backing into the corridor as you hear this. Shut the door! The door is open outwards.
We shut the next door. Run. Just run backwards.
You run backwards. All three of you enter a state of adrenaline. As you turn and you bolt back into the tunnel, and you hear something moving behind you, but you don't dare look.
Okay.
As you move down these steps, everybody make me a agility check.
Cool. I've got a +5 to my agility. +3.
Ooh, natural 20, 21.
22.
And that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nice. Jay, just being the first one to have seen this thing, just turns and bolts back down the stairs, camera in one hand, not looking back. The two of you take his word for it and turn and follow. You make it down the stairs without incident and just book it down this concrete corridor back towards the light of the room at the end. You turn around behind you and you see something coming through the dark, crawling through the tunnel, maybe larger than a person.
I'm gonna try and grab the door that we opened for this room and just push it closed.
Push it. Maybe one more agility check.
18.
Okay, you see this thing coming and you swear you see what looks like tree roots sort of growing rapidly towards the door as well, faster even than whatever this thing is that's coming towards you, and they just reach the edge of the door as you slam it closed, twist the lock shut, and you just stop and wait. You hear 2 loud bangs on the outside of this door,
No.
and then silence.
Can we put something in front of it? I know it's like a bolt door, but
Sofa.
couch.
Yeah. Push sofa.
You start moving that, and Chris, as they're doing this, you start seeing the slightest indication of little tree roots crawling out in the tiniest gap of this underneath this door. The light starts to flicker in this room.
It's getting in. It's still getting in. We need to find a way out of here.
Visual observation. Is there a way out?
Make me a check.
10.
Can I have a look as well?
Yes, you can.
Without the visual observation, but at advantage still. Oh god. Cognition? 24.
24. You're looking around, you basically just drop the couch because you don't care about that if it's getting in anyway, and look around, you look up, and you see where you've dropped the couch. It's now directly under this ceiling vent.
Through the vent! Through the vent!
Vent. Okay.
Okay.
I'll help you guys up.
Bring the coffee table closer to
Yeah.
try and get
You
a
can
bit of
stand
boost.
up on the furniture. Chris standing there first. You can almost reach this vent just with your hands.
Okay.
It needs to have the front of it pried off. It's got a grate over it.
Okay. So I'm gonna stand on the coffee table and just put my hand in and just start trying to pull it down as best I can.
Make a check at advantage. It's your last one with the adrenaline.
Is it a strength?
It's strength, yep.
That's 3. Oh, that's a crit, so 23.
23. In desperation, you see Chris, one hand steadying himself on the ceiling, the other one fingers wrapping into the grate. It's quite flimsy, it's quite old, and you just pull this thing down and it bends. And once it's bent a little bit, you can just grab it with both hands and tug it off. And the vent is open. Chris discards it to a side with a loud metal clatter.
I'm just gonna put my hand out towards Robin.
Is the tree still coming?
You can see now tiny thin roots creeping across the concrete floor, feeling their way towards you. They seem to be sort of stretching out, spreading, searching.
Just grab Chris's hand, like get dragged up, and I'm gonna grab your waist, sorry, and just push you up into the vent.
Okay, both of you make me an agility check.
This is my last advantage. That's 3. 18?
That's an 11.
11. Okay, Chris, you're able to hold her up. 18. Robin, you just hands in the vent hole, scramble into it and pull yourself up.
Hand out for Jay.
Yeah, I'll push my camera up first and then...
I'll start crawling.
Sure.
Get out of the way.
Both of you make me an agility check.
I think this is my last one.
I think so.
It is, yeah.
15.
7.
7. Okay.
The camera threw me off then.
Chris, you don't expect the weight on your left arm to throw you off so much, but luckily, Jay, you're able to grab onto the inside of the vent as Chris loses his grip on your feet. You're hanging there for a second, but you scramble forwards and manage to pull yourself up.
You go back there?
Yeah, sorry.
Hurry up.
Keep moving. I will then, like, squat down a little bit and then just launch myself up and try and catch myself and pull myself in.
Okay. As you've run out of adrenaline, drop a stamina level.
Okay.
All of you.
Oh god.
And make this check straight without advantage.
Yep. Agility, yeah? Okay, that's all right. 13.
13. You manage to catch yourself on the side. It's quite a struggle, but you haul yourself into this small vent space. You're almost shoulder to shoulder with the walls. You can see the faint light of Robin's torch ahead, and their two bodies like sort of muscling forwards.
I still have the lamp with me as well.
Still have the lamp.
Like pushing myself forward as well.
Yeah, I'll be cruel.
You move forwards, Robin like sliding the end of this small flashlight into your teeth. Crawling forwards, you see thick cobwebs that you have to push through. You hear, rather than see, like the scuttle of insects moving about inside here. So you just keep pushing ahead.
Yeah.
Make me a nerve roll.
Oh god. +4 for nerve, let's go. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You could not care less right now. You push through the cobwebs, feeling them sticking to your hair and your face. You feel something skitter against your skin. You don't care, you push forwards.
Keep going, just keep going.
You two pursue into the space, into like the wake of this tunnel that Robin has left through the cobwebs. You keep crawling. The tunnel starts moving upwards, following sort of the incline of the stairs. As you crawl ahead, you hear thumping at the other end of the vent behind you. The sound of something getting in after you.
Oh god! Oh,
It's right behind us. We need to move
go
faster.
faster, go faster.
You get to the other end, and there is another grate ahead of you, Robin.
Could try and prise it off or like push it forward or whatever it is that
Make a
needs.
strength check.
0. 5.
5. You push it off, but you don't think you have the strength.
I'll try again, I guess. Keep
Give it another go.
bashing it. 14.
14, still not coming off.
Cool.
If you like, you can spend an adrenaline token to put yourself back at advantage.
Sure. Just need to get out.
Do it.
Worse, 11.
Okay, it feels like this grate is not coming off on your own. You're in a state of adrenaline again. Jay is right behind you.
Like, is there any room for us to move around each other?
You could probably slide past each other, like body to body, you two.
You okay?
I can't get it open.
Okay, swap.
Okay. Well, so barrel roll to the side.
It's probably easiest if Robin just lies down, Jay, you just crawl over her
Oh god.
I
in front, and you get to the front. Try and get the grate open, make me a strength check.
shall. 17.
17. Just as you bust the grate off, Chris, at the back, you feel something touching your ankle, trying to wrap around it.
No.
You kick it away, and the three of you come desperately tumbling out of this grate, out onto the hard dirty, wet ground. You can feel rain on your face. You don't waste any time before you're back up on your feet.
Yeah. Is there like rocks or stones or something, like mud that I can
Jam down there.
jam into, like
You can shove the grate back, sort of jam it into it.
pick the grate up from the floor and just jam it in at an angle so that it can't be pushed out easily.
Okay. You just hammer that in as the others are gathering themselves back to their feet.
We need to keep moving. We can't stay.
Is it like, can we see it coming through the vent still?
You can't see down, it's too dark to see down into the vent. Now you're outside. You have to blink and your eyes adjust a little bit to the moonlight, although there's clouds streaked across it. There isn't much light out here.
It was at my ankles. We need to move.
Oh, we need to go.
Which direction are we going?
You realise you're standing in a large clearing. You can see a slight hill and the round of the bunker door that you just came from. And you can see also small sort of lumps in the soil, dozens of them in this clearing. And then there's trees all around you.
May I please use my navigational skills of being a park ranger to try and figure out where we are?
You can make me a navigation check, so that's a check advantage for cognition.
Cool. Plus 0 to cognition, so 13.
13. You are familiar with the woods. You run to the trees and take a look on them, and you feel for the moss. And you're able to work out which way is north.
Okay, that was north, then this. If that was north, then the town is in the south.
You knew that the town was on the south of the island.
So we just need to head this way.
Okay, lead the way.
Sure. I will then lead the way through the woods towards the south.
Okay, what speed are you moving? Are you running?
A sensible jog.
Yes, a sensible jog.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody make me an endurance check.
Mine's at advantage, yeah?
It is at advantage.
I've got a +2 to endurance.
I've got a +5, but I rolled a 3, so 8.
17.
Okay.
I also rolled an 8.
Robin doesn't waste any time now.
I'm
Robin,
fine.
you can feel your heart pounding desperately, terrified of whatever that was coming up behind you, and you just take off. These two, after maybe 5 minutes of running, you start to... The panic has set in, you're running out of breath, you have to slow down as you need to stop and breathe.
Come on, let's go! Come on!
Oh, give me a sec.
Turn around and see if it's following.
Make a cognition check.
14.
14. You stop. You can't hear anything.
Anything?
You listen for a while. You can't hear any birds. You can't hear any animals moving through the trees. All the sounds that you're so used to from being in a forest. Deadly silence.
Come on!
Yeah, we gotta move.
Yeah, come on!
Keep going, keep going.
You keep going, a slower pace this time. Robin just ahead of you, moving forwards. Chris back, just trying to keep you guys on track. Calling out to sort of change course a little if you find yourselves running southeast or southwest. Eventually, you cross where the trees start to thin. You hear birdsong.
That's better. Did you guys notice there was nothing back there?
I was too busy running from whatever the hell that was.
It's not really something I pay attention to.
There was no sound. No animals. Everything had left the area. I'm not saying relax, but I'm saying that it might be a bit safer here.
Yeah, at least we can maybe get our bearings for a second.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
take 5.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything like where we've stopped?
There's nothing, it's just the trees have thinned out a little. They were very dense where you were running before. Now it's just kind of a bit more moonlight between them. Take a hot second to breathe. You take a hot second to breathe and you just look around yourselves. Everybody make me a cognition check. Yours will still be at advantage for your last one.
It's mine at advantage because observation.
Visual observation. Yeah.
I got a 4!
Natural 20, so 25.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Gris, you find yourself racking your brain, not really looking around, trying to think of any reason why there'd be such silence in the woods. Distracted from this, you don't notice, but you two do. You see some stuff. Just looks like maybe camping stuff or something a short distance away.
I just kind of look at Robin.
Maybe there's people camping out here.
But hang on, let's go have a look. I'm going to walk over closer to it.
As I've spent that adrenaline token, have I lost another
You have lost another
point?
stamina level.
I am on 1 stamina.
I mean, people come out here to go camping all the time, right?
It's truly.
Yeah. But does it look like stuff that's set up, or is it just stuff that's
As you
left?
approach, you realise that nothing here has been set up. What you're actually looking at is one bag that's been strewn across the forest floor,
Okay.
and a red and blue coat that matches the rucksack. A little further than that, another rucksack unopened. You recognise these from 2 people who were on the ferry with you.
Guys who are hiking.
And
Isn't
it's
this our stuff?
yeah, and like it would be set up if they were here, surely.
Yeah, is it like a tent set up or?
There's no tent. You can see a tent that's like half pulled out of a bag. Looks like it's been maybe torn out of there.
May I use my tracking to see if I can spot their footsteps anywhere?
Make me a tracking check. Cognition at advantage.
18.
18. You look around and you find telltale signs of where people have been walking,
Mm-hmm.
and then this footsteps seem to go up to one of the trees and just vanish. Doesn't turn around, doesn't go past the tree. You think this is strange. You go back and check for more. Same thing to a different tree.
Maybe they climb the trees, the footsteps keep going into the trees.
Look up at the tree. They were chased by something as well, or like there's an animal or something?
You look up at the tree. It doesn't look like there's any way a regular person could climb that without climbing equipment.
Hello? What kind of trees are they? Or like, are they like spindly or are they big sort of thick boys?
They're quite thick trunks. About, I guess the diameter would be sort of shoulder width.
Are they oak trees by any chance?
They're not oak trees.
Cool.
Much taller.
Cool. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Jay, make me a cognition check.
Just a straight cognition.
Yeah.
Oh, 21.
Nice.
You remember from your research on your way to Adler Island that there was an urban legend about the trees in the woods.
What was that urban legend?
You remember that an urban legend of some sort of creature, if it caught you, you might start to turn, your skin turn into bark, your body stuck inside a tree forever.
Huh.
Hate that.
Taking a closer look at the trees,
Mm-hmm.
anything peculiar about?
Make a visual observation check.
Oh my god.
I sort of, Robin, do you mind just shining your light over here a sec?
Yeah.
19.
You do notice like the shifting, the pattern of the bark, sort of some knots in the tree. It doesn't look clearly like a human face. Like you would dismiss it as one, but you could see how someone might pretend that those were eyes, and that was like the curve of a body.
Ew.
Just kind of have a little snicker to myself. Just weird.
What?
Well, there's a local legend here that some people in the woods at night will turn into trees if they get gotten by a certain creature that stalks the forests.
What, like a creature that was following us?
Did they get remembered?
What?
Are they trees?
I mean, it's just a tree. And like, if you were superstitious, you'd say, oh look, there's the eyes and
Well,
that's an arm.
No, that's a peeply tree.
Where are the hikers? Here's all their gear. Like, is there anything in that gear that might be useful to us?
You can search through it if you want to.
I'll have a
to.
look.
Make a coordination check.
Oh,
Why? Come back.
all the way over here.
All the way
If you
over
two
there.
are searching, then both of you.
15.
Say you could probably find in there a length of rope, like a couple of energy bars.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. You see a rucksack.
Sure is there.
Too busy looking at the tree face.
Energy bars. How many? Like,
I'd say 2 of those,
cool. And some rope.
and maybe like a metal water bottle
Okay.
Useful.
Yeah.
with some water in it.
Anyone thirsty?
I mean, now that you mention it.
Can we get them out the tree? Like, is the
It's not
legend say anything about that?
Chris, people don't turn into trees.
It looks like a person.
It's just a local superstition kind of thing.
Can we not? You're scaring me. Just when, like, where are the hikers? That's the main issue here right now.
Well, maybe there's like an animal out here and they just got scared off or something. Maybe they were trying to set up their tent and they saw whatever weird thing we saw, and you know, stuff plays tricks on your mind out here.
Well, what was that followed us into the bunker? That wasn't an animal.
I don't know. We're all stressed out and foggy memory. Maybe we're hallucinating.
Is there like any sign of a struggle? Like any blood on the ground or like leaves kicked up anywhere?
Leaves kicked up. Doesn't look like somebody was grabbed. Not attacked here. Just vanished.
Somehow worse.
As you're looking, you hear a faint scratching noise to one side of you.
Is it coming from the tree, perhaps?
It is.
Oh my god.
You turn to look at the tree as you hear this noise. No real idea what you might find. And you start to see bits of the bark flaking away like something's being scratched into it.
I'm recording this.
Jay gets his camera rolling and you watch as though someone were carving it themselves with a penknife or something. Letters forming in the bark. But as they're carved in, you see something thick and dark red oozing out.
Red?
The first letter forms an F.
Is that tree bleeding?
I-N-D.
Like that's not sap. Like doesn't look like
Doesn't
thick
look
like
like
sap.
sap. It looks like blood.
Oh god.
Is that tree bleeding?
L
Do you want to touch it?
No.
Y R A.
Find Lyra. Lyra Hawthorne.
Who?
Yeah, like
The
they're Hawthorne.
the one who killed everyone and went missing.
You just have this way of dropping things just into sentences.
As you're talking, the air gets cold enough that you can see your breath in front of you. Robin, your flashlight flickers, starts to fade very rapidly.
No, come on.
Turning it on and off, and it's still working. It doesn't look like the battery's going, it looks like the bulb is dying.
Bashing it. Come on.
Trying to keep the light on, and you hear something moving through the trees somewhere around you.
Oh,
We should probably keep moving.
Yeah.
okay.
I take it there's no night vision on a 1998 camera.
There's barely vision.
You do have the oil lamp.
True. I'll switch off my camera for now.
I'm gonna bring up the oil lamp and do a match.
You strike the match,
Light it.
light the oil lamp, and you see this flame come up, flickers purple for a second, and then it's burning bright orange, and it casts a large light around you, and you can see just in your peripheral, when you look, there's nothing there. you swear you see half a dozen people standing in the tree line, staring at you at this light.
Can we all see this?
All of you.
Can you see the people in the trees?
Yeah.
Trees cast weird shadows, let's move.
Okay, go. Going
Are you
somewhere.
running?
Going, yes.
Towards the south again.
Okay. You just keep moving, keep running through the woods, maybe another endurance roll.
+2. Do I get that as advantage because I have long distance running as one of my skills?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
21.
Endurance, dirty 20.
13. Okay.
I'm trying not to spill anything.
Yeah. you keep moving, Chris, a little slower. You do hear something also moving through the trees behind you. As you go, Chris, you catch glimpses in this light of just these like silvery, shadowy figures in the trees around you.
Do tree shadows also make sound? Jay?
You're probably stepping on twigs. Move faster.
You run. You just don't stop. And you almost run too far before you see what looks like a bridge. And you realise that you're coming up to the edge of a ravine.
Skid.
Go to the bridge. Keep moving.
Skid along the edge of it. You sort of glance down for a second. You see it goes down maybe 25 feet.
Shit.
It's about 20 feet across down to a river. You turn and you start heading towards the bridge. It's one of those like wide wooden bridges with a roof and sides on it, windows. You still hear something coming from behind you, but you haven't stopped to check what it is. As you approach the bridge, you notice that it doesn't look particularly secure. You're stood at the edge of it. You can see it seems to be kind of swaying a little bit with the wind.
Come on, we need to get across. Stick to the edge.
One second. I don't like heights.
You don't like heights?
No.
Close your eyes and go.
Hold my hand.
Robin, make a nerve roll.
Do I have to take my setback off that?
You do.
Because I have vertigo.
Whoa!
So +1 is +4. 3.
You go to reach for Chris's hand, and your knees are already shaking. You just sink down and kneel on the ground, staring at this bridge.
Can you just sit down a sec?
I'm gonna pass Jay the oil lamp.
Go to the camera and hold the oil lamp.
Get on my knees in front of you. Listen, we stay here and we could be trees. Or you get on my back and I get you across this bridge, okay? I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. Come on.
As you kneel there, you start to feel this fizzle in your head. Feels a little bit like how you'd imagine static would feel. In your mind.
Is that
Busying your thoughts.
all of us? Or?
All of you. Just a sort of sensation in your mind. That's the only way you can think to describe it.
Just looking back at these two and back the way we came. See anything approaching or?
Make a visual observation check.
Wow. 18.
You see a set of what can't be glowing eyes in the tree line.
I knew I would regret looking.
Just looks like two reflective eyes staring back at you out of the tree line. Even moving the lantern around, you don't get any further indication of what shape it is, whether you're looking at an animal or a person.
You two gonna be long? Cause we should probably...
Yeah, no, come on, Robin. You can either walk across or I'll carry you across. But we need to move.
Okay, I'm gonna try and
Make
walk.
another nerve roll.
Go on! Don't do me die again! 6!
6. You get Robin up to her feet and she just can't bring herself to move forward onto the bridge.
I can't do it again.
Get on my back.
I can't do it.
Get up. Okay, I'm just gonna scoop you then and put you over my shoulder.
Oh god!
Chris picks you up, throws you over his shoulder.
My right shoulder. And then I'm going to turn and start walking around down the bridge on the edge of it, so I'm not going in like where the planks would bend, and I'm like being able to hold them to the side more.
As you start crossing, moving away from the light that Jay's holding, you do hear and feel the planks underneath you splintering slightly. You want to move fast or slow?
Fast or safe?
Fast.
Okay. Maybe an agility check.
+5. Baby. Don't be driving. Don't be driving.
Oh, get in tray.
14.
14. You can feel planks breaking, but so you just bolt for it. Like you feel the planks breaking under your feet, you just move faster, clutching onto Robin, who is shrieking the other end of the tunnel. Robin is screaming, you just run for it.
Yeah.
And you feel the last couple break, but you get off onto the other side, sort of jump and land in the dirt with Robin on the other side of the bridge.
That wasn't so bad. See?
Jane, you're still stood there, holding the lantern, hearing the bridge cracking behind you. What would you like to do?
I would like to pelt down the opposite side.
Okay, so fast.
Yes.
Maybe an agility check.
Fast, 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 fast.
Hey, hey, hey. My +1.
Living on the edge.
15.
Ooh, 15. Okay, you run across and luckily holding the lantern you're able to see these patches where the planks have fallen away. Looking down, you see that same set of glinting eyes staring up at you through a hole in the floor of the bridge.
Oh,
You get over to the other side and stumble out of the tunnel, and doesn't seem to be the sound of static in your head anymore. Everything seems calm.
I will put Robin back on the floor.
Well, you're both on the floor.
Oh. I will roll away from you. We did it. Okay? That wasn't so bad.
All at once, there is a huge creak as you watch the bridge collapse in on itself. The noise is tremendous as the bulk of it just falls down into the ravine.
We timed that well, I would say.
That is also Chris laughing.
Robin throws up in her mouth a little bit.
I'm just gonna look at each on the floor like, I'd help you up, but kind of shrug with my hands full.
I appreciate the optimism. Wow.
It's one of my redeeming qualities.
Is it? Okay. God, stand up. And I'll offer a hand to Robin to stand as well.
Sort of crawl to my feet, legs jelly.
You can, and you do.
I'll take
Okay,
it.
I'll lantern back to you.
Exhilarating. Okay. We gotta be almost there. I remember the ravine being nearby the town on a map that I looked at.
Surely the sun's got to start coming up soon.
Yeah.
Surely.
Set my watch.
Probably, it's like getting close to 5.
It's September, and in this part of the world, the sun starts rising about 6, 7 o'clock at this time of year.
Ugh.
Okay.
You keep going on foot. You move through the woods now, with Chris tracking ahead, trying to find any semblance of a path. If there was a bridge, there must be one, and you do find one eventually. And then, when you're on the path, you find yourself come down to like a T-junction. You look up at one direction, back down at the other direction, and suddenly you find yourselves remembering.
Oh.
5 days earlier.
Oh!
The three of you step off the ferry separately onto the dock in the town of Aubrey on Adler Island. You're looking at a small coastal town, trees dotted around, quite picturesque. White and grey painted houses, each with different coloured roofs, blue tiles, red tiles, green tiles. This large church building in front of you, although you see a sign above the door that says library. Stretch of shops along the beachfront. and a little further down you see the Harbour Inn Hotel, where each of you, by chance, has booked yourselves in. You head down towards it, sort of not noticing the others moving in the same direction as you, and one after the other you push inside. At the desk you see a woman in her mid-40s, brown skin and long straight dark hair, sort of kind dark eyes, a little plump, friendly smile, wearing a pair of jeans and a cardigan. She looks quite stressed. You also see the kind of bag that would belong to like perhaps a maintenance man sat just down by the bottom of the staircase. She looks up at you and she goes, "Oh, did you have a reservation?
Yeah.
What were your names?"
Christopher Ward.
Jay Kohli.
Robin Holstock.
Okay, she flicks through the book and she notices, oh yeah, she's got you checked in for today. Well, we've had a bit of an issue. The water tank in our attic has sprung a leak upstairs and put a couple of the rooms in about an inch of water.
Oh.
Not to worry about it, we have a maintenance guy looking at it right now.
Do you think it's something you can get fixed?
I'm hoping so. It might take a couple of hours. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
That's
it's
okay.
fine.
She sort of leans towards the tent. Hey, do you think you'll be long? And you hear someone shout down like, "Might be a while. Give me at least an hour."
We can do that.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I can give you a list of places that you can check out in the town. You can leave your bags here if you want.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay. Well, and she lists off like a diner, the location of the local library, some of the name of the general store in the town, and she's like, "I'm so sorry about this."
Not a problem.
Yeah, these things happen. We just hope
Thank
that
you.
you can get it fixed.
I guess I'll see you shortly.
Sure.
Leave suitcase.
You can leave your bags with her. She tells you her name is Amber, and the three of you step back out of the hotel, sort of in slight shock because you weren't expecting this to happen.
Well, I'm probably gonna go to the diner and get some food.
Yeah, what kind of time of day is it?
It was kind of early afternoon when you stepped off the ferry, so I'd say like 2:30ish. Probably didn't have lunch on the way over here.
Late lunch.
Lunch sounds good.
Yeah,
Jay,
Chris.
Robin.
nice to meet you.
Sure. You too.
You make your way down towards the Golden Spoon Diner.
Ooh.
Quite a tired looking place, but the sort of mum and pop diner that, like, it doesn't matter that it looks a little tired on the outside, you know it's going to have good food.
Hell yeah.
You step inside and a waitress, young looking woman with dark skin and long curly dark hair, wearing like a sort of yellow sweetheart dress and an apron, steps on and says, "Hi, table for three?"
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
Right this way, and she leads you over to a booth in the window. "I'm Anna, what can I get you?"
I'll have one of your bottomless coffees.
"Sure."
I like how you haven't even looked at the menu and you just know that that's the thing that they have.
They've probably got like a board on the wall with all the plastic letters telling you what there is to offer.
And I always know that the best coffee you'll ever get is the worst diner's bottomless coffees.
Always.
Always the best.
Bottomless coffee,
Can I get the sausage and hash browns, please?
sausage and hash browns.
Two.
Two of those.
Like a salad?
Sure, we can do that. And
We know.
white man blinks. Coming right up.
Thanks.
Cheers.
She leaves you to it.
Cheers.
Three of you found yourselves sat around this diner booth, looking out at the waters of the lake. You realise you can't see much further past the fog that you came through.
I'd say that Jay still has his little plastic case with him. Did not leave that at the hotel.
No.
Do not trust like that. So we'll sit on one side of the booth with his case next to him.
The case. You make movies or something?
Yeah, I'm here doing a documentary.
Okay. What about?
Do you know anything about the local legends, like the hawthorns and that not?
Kind of. I mean, that's why I'm here as well.
Oh!
Like, not to make a documentary about it or anything, but I'm an ancestral historian.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm here to chart the family history.
Oh, okay then. I mean, do you want to head to the library after this then?
Sure.
Because I was thinking of maybe just going and looking up some newspaper clippings or something like that.
Are you here to film for like the family as well, or?
Oh, no, just I'm supposed to be doing this with the crew, but complications and everyone kind of dropped out, so I thought, hey, I might as well do it by myself, so...
Wow, it's a lot to take on for one person.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. No, I'm just here sort of chasing, I guess, ghost stories and that kind of kooky stuff.
Ghost stories.
Yeah, there's a lot of them around here.
Oh, really?
Weird little legends about the island.
I don't think I've heard any of them.
I'm sure you will find out many from the locals.
As you say that, Anna comes back with your bottomless coffee, whatever other drinks you might have wanted, and she's like, "Oh, you're talking about the Hawthorns?"
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know anything about it?
Only the legends.
I will get my notebook out.
You know that Hawthorn Manor is cursed?
Cursed?
Yeah.
Is that in line with what happened to the most recent Hawthorns?
Well, people say that the Hawthorns practice black magic, and that their house was cursed by it. And if you go there, it will drive you insane.
Okay.
And you'll want to kill your family just like Lyra did.
Wow.
Why? What happens when you go there?
I don't know.
It'll just drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, can we just roll back to someone killed their family?
Supposedly.
Lyra Hawthorne, yeah.
10 years ago, Lyra's whole family turned up. I mean, everyone around here knows the rhyme.
The rhyme?
Of course there's a rhyme.
Oh, where has Lyra gone? Oh, where can she be? She smacked her mother with an axe. She gave her father's neck a hack. And if I don't stay out of the dark, the next she'll come for me.
Wow.
Quaint.
Comforting.
It's just one of those stupid children's rhymes, you know. They write them about the war and the plague and all sorts.
You like listen to what the lyrics are and you think, oh, Ring Around the Rosies wasn't as chill as I thought it was.
What?
What?
You know the one about the plague?
No.
Pocket full of posies.
A tissue, we'll
We all
fall
fall
down.
down.
Well, no.
It's about the plague.
It's about the plague.
That's gross.
I mean, so's your one.
I mean,
Suppose
that's like specifically in line with one person. I wouldn't want that to be my legacy.
No.
I suppose not.
She killed her whole family?
Well, they didn't find her, so they suppose that she must have.
Wow. When was that?
10 years ago-ish?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. And how long have you been here?
About 8.
Okay.
So you never like knew any of them?
No. I got here after they'd all passed.
Hmm.
So, lots of people on the island did know the Hawthorns, although apparently they kept a lot to themselves.
Do you have any family here who might have known them?
No.
Do you know?
I moved over here with my mother. So,
Okay.
Do you know any of the locals who might have more information?
if you speak to Jeremiah at the general store, he has stories.
Okay.
Okay.
Jeremiah at the general store.
He's making a movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Sure, okay, just tell everyone. Yeah, I'm just doing a documentary about it.
Wow, a documentary about our little town. That's really exciting.
Yeah, sure, so
I love your accent.
thank you.
I'll take your food.
British.
Whereabouts are you from exactly?
I live in London.
And moved over to the US, or?
Oh no, I'm just here for the
Wow.
work thing.
That's like very specific then.
Well, I mean, I had the work visa to do the documentary, so like I said, might as well do it by myself.
You wouldn't want to waste the visa.
Precisely.
So you guys are both here for the same thing then?
Yeah.
Well, not exactly the same thing.
Similar goals, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to the library, I might as well. I'll come with you too. I want to look through some newspaper stuff.
What brings you to Albury?
Just looking around for people. My brother came to visit her a while ago, so told me it was nice.
Taking in the same sites.
Yeah.
Fair.
Are you meeting up with him, or?
Hopefully.
Cool.
Your food comes by, you eat, you head out. Are you going to the library?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least we'll go to the library. I will dawdle along with them.
Okay. The library is in an old white church. Tall steeple at the front, obviously repurposed into this library. You head inside and you see this like beautiful arched roof, sort of sprawling church architecture filled with quite short bookshelves. And there is a front desk at which there is an elderly woman, grey short hair, blue eyes, sort of slightly frumpy floral dress, frown on her face.
Oh,
no.
Grumpus Wumpus.
She looks at you come in with a look that is definitely suspicious because she doesn't recognise you.
It's a local library for local people.
Robin will step forward. Hi there. We're new to the area, and I was wondering if you had maybe an ancestral history section or an archive or anything along those lines.
We have an archive
Perfect.
downstairs.
Is it okay to take a look?
I'll need you to sign in if you don't have a library card.
Sure.
Pulls out a visitor's book and slaps it down on the table, opens it up.
All of us?
If you don't have a library
sure.
card.
Okay.
We'll sign in the visitor's book.
Sign in the visitor's book.
Christopher Ward.
She looks down at your names. Looks up at you, Chris. Ward.
Yep.
Any relation to a Harvey Ward?
Do you know him?
Had a library account here.
An account?
Checked out some books he never returned.
Oh no. No, he had an account here? When?
88.
88. 10 years ago. Your brain.
Mind is sharp.
Only 3 people haven't returned their books.
Oh no. Do you remember what happened to Harvey? Is he here or?
Haven't seen him
Nor his books.
in 10 years. Quite the outstanding library charge.
It seems you're next of kin.
Are you just cursed to be followed by overdue library fines in D&D?
It's B's character trait.
Just because that's what follows me.
Blood boys and overdue library fines.
Can you tell me anything about Harvey when he was here?
Like how much the charge is.
Can you stop?
What books he checked out?
When you saw him?
I can check out what books he checked out. Turns to a sort of huge blocky computer.
Not much to do around here, huh?
Taps the keys,
Is it the little green display on the on the screen?
waits
Oh my god.
as it loads.
Computer makes
About
awful noise.
30 seconds. Here we are.
Great.
Puts on some reading glasses.
Oh my god.
Leans down.
Oh my god.
2 books. Overdue
Okay.
by more than 3,000 days.
We get it. It's been 10 years.
a book on old Scandinavian myths, and a book on witchcraft.
Wow, you have that sort of thing in this little place?
We did.
Did he clear out your witchcraft section? Also, Scandinavian runes and witchcraft, sorry.
Scandinavian myths
Myths.
and witchcraft.
I mean, maybe he was just getting immersed in these local legends, you know. So the family practices black magic and all that. Maybe he was just trying to have a authentic Aubrey experience.
Oh, you hear about the Hawthorns? And then she lays
Yeah.
You want to look at the archive?
Yes,
please.
The section is, and she lists off a number where you can find information about the Hawthorns.
Oh wow. Okay.
Thank you, that's incredibly helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like a library donation box.
Yes.
Can I just like put in $1? I don't know how much money I have on me at this point, but I'll put in $1.
I'll put in $1. Despite the library fines, Florence lets you in.
Oh,
And shows you where the staircase is down to the archive, which is in the basement. You head down there and you see like rows and rows of filing cabinets, shelves with folders on. But you do have the place you need to head for the Hawthorns.
Nice.
Whilst these two are heading here, is there something you're doing in particular?
I want to go to the, like, you know, in libraries they have those big machines that you can flip through the newspaper clippings at the time.
Yeah.
I want to go to that and start searching through the 10 years earlier one.
Okay.
Like, just for the sort of the month that Harvey would have been here, that I knew that he would have been here.
Sure. I'd say everybody make me a cognition check at advantage because you've got all the time in the world to search right now.
Cool.
A couple of hours at least.
Rolled a 3 and a 4, that's 7.
17. That's a nat 20, so 20.
Okay. Let's say Jay specifically looking for like something to do with urban legends and stuff. You don't find anything down here.
It's because Harvey took all the books.
But you are able to like sort of snoop around over Robin's shoulder as she looks up Hawthorne's information. Robin, you find some information about the town being founded by Edward Hawthorne in 1865, April. Although the information you find pertains to the fact that Hawthorns had been living on the island for decades prior to this, and the Adler Island was actually property of the Hawthorne family.
Okay.
You then move on to the newspaper machine where Chris is, and as you're searching, you sort of come together to find a newspaper clipping about the Hawthorne murders. This rather gruesome headline, sort of bit of a spectacle headline, and the article underneath lists who died where.
Oh god.
Obviously. It lists that Cedric Hawthorne died in the hunting room.
He became the hunted.
Professor Plum with the lead pipe.
He was 48 at the time. Catherine Hawthorne died in the parlour on the sofa. She was 46. Eliza Hawthorne died in the upstairs bathroom. She was 18 at the time. And Keenan Hawthorne in what it lists as the seance room.
Okay. Pardon?
The seance room. Keenan was 15.
Did it say how they died?
It doesn't say how they died beyond killed with an axe. Like wounds similar to what would be given with a small wood axe. Looking for another name, Robin, you notice no mention of the name Alice.
Okay. Is there any sort of missing person thing or like anything from that year that...
I would say you can also find missing persons information about the town with that nat 20. And you find a ton of missing persons reports from Adler Island. There are a few random ones, but after a short while of searching, You notice that some of the names seem to be cropping up every 10 years. 78, 68, 58, like clockwork. Oscar Nelson, Lucy Horn, Francis Skinner, Thomas McIntosh, Ada Lang, among others. One every 10 years. Nothing listed for 1988.
Are there other disappearances or?
There are a few others. Those ones stand out because they seem to be people who've disappeared from the town. People who were staying, holiday makers or residents. There are others of hikers going missing in the woods. Sort of posters saying, have you seen these people? They went out hiking and never returned.
Are those on the?
They're not on the 10 years.
They're just random.
They're just random.
Okay.
But it only really sticks out because you keep seeing the 8 at the end of the day
Yeah.
over and over again.
The original article as well, what did that say about Lyra?
It says that Lyra Hawthorne was seen by the housekeeper and the groundskeeper on the day of the murder and never seen again.
Okay. So sort of just what I already knew.
Yes.
Cool.
Are there names for the?
The housekeeper and the groundskeeper aren't named in the article.
Okay. I will have written all of this down as we.
This takes you a good sort of over an hour worth of reading through this stuff.
So sort of by the time we've done most of what we came out to find,
You
it's-
can probably head back to the home.
Yeah, like hopefully they fix the plumbing.
Yeah. If y'all care to share your notes, Joe will be very interested in
Yeah.
having a
Sort
look
of
over.
just show things as we find them.
Yeah, I'll point out, it's weird there's lots of people gone missing on this island, which is strange considering it's not that big, you know?
I suppose small town, that kind of thing gets reported. Kind of sticks out.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
We should probably head back though.
Yeah, like with any luck they've finished sorting our rooms out.
Yeah, and kill for
Fingers
shower.
crossed.
You head back to the Harbour Inn Hotel. You push back in through the door, really hoping you're not going to see that maintenance bag. But you do.
I'll go down.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Amber is still there at the desk. This time she's with a young man, pale skin, quite lanky, black curly hair, wearing a check shirt tucked over like a oversized t-shirt, tucked into tight jeans and a plumber's tool belt. She sees you come in and she sort of,
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Bad news.
I don't think we're going to be able to get it fixed today. Parts need to come over from the mainland. There's normally only one boat a week on Wednesdays.
Oh wow.
But I'm not leaving you in the lurch here. I've called ahead to Beacon House. It's up by the lighthouse. It's another sort of small private guest house.
Okay.
And Hank has space. It's off season, so says you can stay there.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Can you like draw us a map or something?
Yeah. So as she starts doing this, you do notice that the young man with the plumbing tool belt sort of has a bit of an odd reaction to what she's just said. Looks at her, glances at you three, and then picks up the maintenance bag and goes upstairs.
Is there anything we should know about this place?
No
No?
problem at all. I mean, it's a nice house. It's a small private residence, but it operates as a guest house in the summer. Like I said, it's off season, so it's probably just you three stay there.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling ahead and finding an alternative for us.
Not a problem at all. And she gives you directions up to the top of the hill.
How long have you been on the island for?
Probably coming on 30 years now.
30 years? I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out a photograph. I just pause it over, like, it's probably a long shot, but I don't suppose people around here seem to have a steel trap for burns, so if you recognize the person in it.
She takes it, she looks at it. Family?
My brother, yeah.
Afraid not.
Like I said, long shot. Thanks anyway.
It's okay. He gives it back. Right, dust off. I'm so sorry again about this. Really, I am. I'll make sure you get your refunds through.
Things happen.
Thank you.
Just hope that you can get it fixed.
I'm sure eventually. Maybe they can send a different boat with some parts, but...
At least it's the off season.
If you need anything, I'm here. If you have any questions.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers.
She sends you out. Back out into the street again, this time with your bags.
Holding a suitcase.
Here we go.
Trundle, trundle.
You start making your way up the cliffside. The path heads down to the beach, sort of splits off, forks. One goes down the beach, one goes up the hill. And at the top of the hill you can see the lighthouse still going in this sort of grey and miserable day. The dusk is sort of slowly starting to set in now, a few hours later, and as you walk up the hill, you see the tree line at the top. You would know, Robin, that Hawthorne Manor is somewhere up here in the trees on the cliff. You start to feel slightly unsettled by some of the shadows, perhaps just that the lighthouse is throwing from the trees over the path. Feels like they're encroaching in on you. As you move up there, conversation falls away as you focus on just getting up to the top of this steep cliff before it's completely dark. It's uncomfortable, to say the least. But you trudge on up there, and you see a second guest house. Small, thin house, standing quite close to the edge of the cliff. There's a picket fence around the outside, although it looks a little worse for wear, as does the white paint on the outside of the house, battered by years of storms and sea air right here. Beyond it you can see the tall, thin, white lighthouse. Standing outside the front of Beacon House, you see the owner, you presume, looking quite fidgety, standing on his doorstep. He looks to be in his early 50s, suntan skin, tall and broad man, grey hair that's long enough to tie back, grey stubbled beard and a kind smile.
Handsome.
He's wearing a long-sleeved white t-shirt and a pinstripe waistcoat over the top. It's open. As he sees you coming, he sort of and comes down the path, like boots crunching in the gravel. You must be the people that were sent up from Harbour Inn.
And you must be Hank.
Yes. Nice to meet you. Offer your hand.
Christopher Ward.
Jay.
Robin.
I'm sorry that I don't have much time to settle you in. I have to get over to the lighthouse, but I can give you the keys.
Great, that'll be
Thank you.
fine.
Hands over 2 keys to you. Doesn't explain. Tells you that the guest house is usually bed only, but that you're welcome to the kitchen and any food that's in there. And if he's there in the morning, he'll make you breakfast. And tells you that he operates the lighthouse himself, can likely be found there anytime if you need him, and he's not at the guest house. And then he's just very apologetic as he talks. It's like, I will see you probably in the morning, and just storms off up the path towards the lighthouse.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Leaves you to explore the house yourself.
Okay. I guess we get in out of the wind.
Yeah.
I guess. 2 keys, huh?
You step inside. It's quite a quaint looking house. There's like kind of a desk in front of what must be one of the living rooms, making up an office and lobby kind of area. Slightly dated, but it feels very welcoming. Ceilings are high and in the fashion of architecture not really seen in the last century. You take a peek around inside. You see one living room with a TV. You see a kitchen down the end of the hall. Some framed pictures, but all of them are of like boats, the seaside. They all look like they're just decorative, yeah, essentially. And a staircase up to the 7th floor.
This is quaint.
Yeah, let's see what the bedroom situation is.
Yeah.
You head up to the next floor, and there are 4 doors.
And a dog.
And a dog. The 4 doors. One of them is open, and you can see a bathroom inside.
Okay.
One bathroom.
One bathroom.
And of the other 3, you can see that one of them has an obvious lock. And then there's 2 others.
The keys that we've been given, have they got like numbers on them or anything? Or?
No.
They're for the front door, perchance.
Yeah.
Oh.
So these rooms don't have locks, huh? And there's 2. There's 2.
So open the nearest one.
You open one and you see a double bed and a wardrobe, a dresser.
Open the other one.
You see twin beds.
Oh my god.
And a wardrobe and a dresser.
Well, looks like a pair of us are bunking up.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Sure thing.
I'll take the double then.
Leave you to your privacy.
No, that's fine.
You find your way into these separate rooms. You 2 with twin beds, you sit down on them. They're not bad, they seem comfortable enough.
Seems good. They kind of nod at each other.
Yeah.
God's sake.
You double bed seems comfortable too. Nice and cozy. You 2 notice in your room that there are some sort of symmetrical scratches in the floor, like the wooden floor in front of the door, like something's been dragged, but you can't really tell what it is. Like there's no piece of furniture that corresponds next to the door or anything.
Cool. It's just a wear and tear thing, so.
Yeah.
But you can wind down, have a shower.
Oh, yes, please.
Is there a lock on the bathroom door?
There's a sign on the bathroom door that can be turned over and says occupied.
Oh. Okay.
It's like hanging on a little hook on the bathroom door. One side says occupied and the other side says come in.
Not even just vacant. You can come in if you like.
If you like.
You can join me in the shower.
Hank always has it on that side.
Come in.
No, he's a nice man.
Wonk.
We will settle down.
Respectfully take it in turn to shower.
Yeah, definitely have a shower, have a shave.
What sort of time is it?
By the time you've done all this, probably coming up to like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
You can make yourself some food in the kitchen. Go through his cupboards, feeling slightly weird about this. It's
Yeah, a
clearly
little
just a
odd.
man's house, but it's not bad. It's probably, you imagine, going to have some spectacular views when the morning rolls around from the top of the cliff.
Yes.
And as odd as you feel, you can settle down for the night and
Does he have any signal on the TV? Like, do I have to like play with the area?
No doubt.
you can.
Nice.
And you can get like a sort of wobbly picture. You
Price is
imagine.
right.
Price is Right,
Oh,
wobbly
yeah.
picture from the mainland.
Hell yeah.
They're like a little cupboard of VHS tapes.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch like a Disney movie or an 80s movie on VHS.
Oh my god.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, you just
The Lion King
The
was
Lion
like
King was
94.
out. Yeah.
yeah.
Little
you-
Mermaid was out.
Hank just has a lot of Disney tapes for some reason.
Or the films were out. RoboCop.
You sit down and you
Just
can
an Arnie
watch.
movie.
You can watch Heathers.
Hell yeah.
You can watch Die Hard.
We can watch this as a Christmas movie.
We're one of those people.
You watch the newly released Mulan
Oh.
or Halloween Town.
Ooh.
The 3 of you can sort of make yourselves something to eat and sort of, I guess we should hang out, sit down and watch a VHS. And
We have to rewind it for like 20 minutes.
yeah, unless anyone's doing anything in particular tonight, you can get an early night and
Yeah.
sleep off your travels.
Yeah.
And you wake up in the morning to the smell of breakfast being cooked.
Oh.
Yay.
And get dressed. Have another shave.
Mhm.
Meander downstairs. What
You
do
do-
to shave? Often.
He's the kind of guy who shaves it all off. He's got a
It's just
5 o'clock
back,
shower
yeah.
by 2 o'clock. Yeah. You do glance out the window in the morning and go to take in the beautiful view, and you just see this wall of fog.
Huh.
It's just like, guess that fog's still there.
Bog.
You stand at the window and imagine for a moment what a beautiful view it might be if you could see across the lake.
You snore, by the way.
You snuffle.
Snuffle! I was kidding. I was just trying to make a snuffle.
Yeah. Jay doesn't explain. He goes downstairs for breakfast.
You snuffled. You're just canon now.
Oh God.
You head downstairs and Hank cooks you up a nice big, like, proper cooked breakfast. Some waffles, like bacon,
I'll make waffles.
easy over eggs.
Stop it.
Sits you at the table with the kitchen, like sort of nice farmhouse table with 6 chairs. You don't imagine it's often got 6 people sat around it.
Morning.
Morning.
Is it always this foggy?
Quite often this time of year.
So you got a lot of work on your hands, huh? Keeping the boat safe?
Yeah, I mean, radioing down there, telling them if they're about to hit the rocks.
Turn left. Was it quiet last night or?
Very quiet. Very quiet.
Yeah.
Most of the time I sit up there with a book and a glass of wine.
Oh,
Kick back.
the dream.
Yeah. So what are the 3 of you doing here?
I'm an ancestral historian, so I've been invited here to chart the history of the Hawthorne family.
Oh. Huh. Interesting.
I'm here doing a documentary on sort of similar subject after the Hawthorns as well.
You've been here before.
No, but how long have you been here?
Lived here about 40 years.
Okay. Reach into my shirt, pull out the photograph. I don't suppose you recognize this guy?
Maybe saw him in passing.
Yeah, figured. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to find him.
Right. Well, when was he here?
About 10 years ago.
I think.
Appreciate it.
Oh, turn to Chris. If you don't mind my asking, why now? Like, come out and look for him? Like, did you come out and look for him before, or?
I found a news article a little while ago that only came out this year, which had a photograph of what happened in '88, and Harvey was in the background, so
Oh. Wow.
yeah. He was written off as a missing person, but I never believed it, so
Oh.
yeah.
Alright then.
So was that the last time you heard from him? Like 10 years
Last
ago?
time I heard from him was 10 years ago before he got here. He met the love of his life, apparently.
Romantic.
Yeah. And so he was following her for a bit.
Well, maybe they eloped.
Maybe. Just not like him to not come keep in touch.
Well, I hope you find him.
Thanks.
So you're heading over to Hawthorne Manor, huh?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to get a look in the house.
Yeah. You don't suppose to know the way, do you?
You can actually get there through a path just by the lighthouse, so
Okay.
I can take you to the start of it when I'm heading over there and point you in the right direction.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I mean, I'd say it's as good a place as any to start if you're thinking about something 10 years ago.
Like, is the murder?
It was the biggest news on Adler Island in 1988.
Yeah, sure. Got no other lids to go off, apart from just going door to door at the moment. Which I'm not above.
I mean, he was taking out spooky books and there's all sorts of spooky stuff about the family. Maybe he went to go talk to them or something.
True. Yeah, I suppose the house is supposed to be cursed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you don't need to believe all of those urban legends.
Oh.
Is there anything that we should be aware of before going to the house?
You don't want to be there after dark.
Why
He
is
sort of
that?
leans across the table like he's like enjoying telling
Yeah.
you a spooky story.
Jay leans back in.
Well, you know, if you go out into the woods after dark, you're gonna be stolen away by the Night Stalker.
Better what?
What's that?
First, you hear a buzz of static in your head, clouding up your thoughts.
Oh my god.
And then you see a pair of glowing eyes in the dark. and the next thing you know, you've disappeared into the trees forever.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, it's interesting. There's a lot of weird stories that people here seem to have about.
Yeah, Adira
goings on.
Island's got its share of oddities.
Oh yeah, the amount of people that seem to go missing on this island is crazy.
Maybe they got turned into trees.
By the Night Stalker.
By the Night Stalker, wow.
Anyway, let me show you the path.
Yeah. No reason or anything. What time's sunset?
It's about 6 o'clock.
Good to know.
He can lead you out to the bottom of the trail that goes into the woods. He points you down there, and he tells you that you need to take the second left turn.
Okay.
So if you take the first one, it's very easy to get lost. So be careful, make sure it's the second. Because you might end up wandering off into the center of the woods in the island, and you're going to be lost for days.
Second left.
Sure.
Anything you need, be at the lighthouse.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'll catch you later. Thank you for breakfast.
No problem.
We will set out.
He leaves you heading off into the woods.
Oh, have a nice little wander for the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stroll through, you can hear the morning bird song. The ground is slightly damp with like morning dew, sort of soft yellow light floating in through the tree line. It's nice. It's nice. You're comfortable in the woods, Chris. Jay, you're a little bit less comfortable in the woods.
Yeah.
Robin, you kind of wish you had some better shoes for this. But Chris takes the lead and leads you on. And after a while, you see what might be the first turning. So you carry on. And then you see another. And it looks like a much clearer path than the one you passed before. And suddenly you're not sure if this is the first turn or the second turn.
Any ideas? Is this the first or the second? 'Cause I mean that.
We can press on for a few minutes.
And see if there could be a third.
He didn't say anything about a third turn.
Can I use my tracking to sort of figure it out?
You make a navigation check. Cognition at advantage.
That's 11.
11. You carry on a while and you're thinking, no, that must have been the second time, we're not finding anything. And just as everybody's going to turn back, you catch a glimpse of like a slightly better tracked path. And you think, that's got to be it.
Ah! See?
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a path. The first one was more like broken bit of brush.
Yeah. Probably just an animal track or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Just give me a moment and I will pull my camera out of its case and get it mounted
on
on
your
the shoulder.
Is that thing heavy?
Nope.
Does it look heavy?
It looks heavy. You follow up this path a short while and you come to the estate of Hawthorne Manor.
Recording.
The outside of the estate is surrounded by 15-foot brick walls and a huge double iron gate. And the grounds within that you can see through the iron gate are at least a few acres around a sprawling and freestanding manor house with 3 stories. The old redstone Georgian facade has grown eerie over a decade of abandonment. Overgrown with moss and ivy, you can see immediately windows are cracked, some smashed. The grass on the lawn outside the front is overgrown and brown with complete lack of care. As you approach, you notice a number of carvings periodically in the stone of the wall around the outside of it. They just look like Nordic runes.
The wall of the house
The
or
wall of
stone
the
wall?
estate, yeah.
Okay.
Just sort of periodically, you imagine looking at them. The first one you mistake sort of for a Roman numeral and you think at first it's like counting, but one of them looks completely different. They're not numbers at all. They're definitely something else. Symbols. Runic.
Weird.
Superstitious family.
Kind of like the book that Harvey took out, huh?
Like I said, maybe he came through here if he was interested in that sort of stuff.
Weird. He never used to be interested in that kind of stuff, but I guess he got into it whilst traveling.
Could be.
Is the gate open?
It is. There is an iron chain. Looked around, it's been busted already. Looks like probably a while ago it's rusty. One of the gates hangs off slightly, but you can push it open through the brush. Creaks, a horrible creaking sound as it swings open. And you can step into Hawthorne Estate.
Excellent. Who's ready to get cursed?
I'm not going to get cursed.
I hope not.
You don't have to hope. It's all just, talk.
Maybe, but myths and legends are always based in some kind of fact.
Yeah, there's always some sort of explanation for it in my experience, so let's press on.
Yeah, we'll see.
You head on up towards the house. You can see there is a gravel track that continues up to the front doors. It's just very overgrown with ivy and vines at this point. The front door is set up a couple of stone steps and is a broad set of double doors intricately carved with a tree design. It's an exquisite piece of wood carving that spans the entire double doors. Above it is a half circle window that's cracked, unfortunately. But you go for it, try the handle, it's not locked.
This place is beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
Must have been gorgeous back in the heyday.
Really, must have been.
Probably. You guys don't mind if I catch you on camera, do you?
Sure.
No.
Okay.
I give him a good line.
Do we need to sign any waivers or anything?
I'm sure I can draft something up later.
Do I get an idea as to how old the house is? With the architecture and
Yeah, with the architecture, I'd say you could probably guess maybe early 18th century.
Okay.
I make a bit of a show opening the door and being for the camera.
The camera loves me.
It do. He a handsome man and he vain.
Well then.
You push the door open. You hear the rattle of some dried leaves on the inside sort of shift away. Slight explosion of dust inside the door as it sweeps through it. And you see a large foyer, black and white, beautiful mosaic pattern floor, not depicting anything in particular, just of the style of the era. This huge room has double staircases going up each side to a sort of balcony area at the top. Under that is an archway further into the lower floor of the house. And there's a couple of dead plants, a chandelier hanging over the top that looks a bit battered. You can see how it would have been beautiful.
It's kind of a shame that they let it rot like this, huh?
I guess if the locals think it's cursed, no one really wanted to come and tidy it up and repurpose it.
True, but what happened to the rest of the family? Family can't just be 4 people, right?
I mean, I guess I didn't leave it to anyone, or at least anyone who was around to own it.
I guess.
I suppose no one expects to be suddenly axe murdered.
No.
You would know, Robin, that the person who invited you here did have Hawthorne as a surname, and so there must, perhaps it still belongs to a family member who doesn't live here or something.
Yeah, maybe it was left to someone who doesn't want it.
It's a shame. But I guess it's kind of a trip to get out here in the first place.
Yeah.
1 ferry a week.
Yeah. Yikes.
Jay, give me a visual observation check.
Okay.
F.
Ooh!
Oh, crit. 23.
23. I'm just listening to these two talk, sort of getting some
Panning
shots,
around.
panning the camera around. You bring it up to the balcony at the top of the 2 staircases, and you swear you see a woman standing there, staring right back down at you. You drop the camera. She's not there.
Put it back.
Put it there. Put it back there. You can see her again. This woman standing there, looking maybe in her late 40s, long, wild blonde hair, gaunt body, watching you from the top of the staircase, as if she looks shocked that you're in here. Make me a sanity roll.
Oh God!
Simply can't
It's
buy.
just a d20.
5.
5. You drop the camera again, and you definitely can't see her. There's a sanity point,
Oh god.
and you can't make any sense of what you've just looked at.
Oh no.
Cool.
Do we notice him having this
I
little
guess-
moment?
You
You've
probably see the camera going up and down a couple of times.
You good?
Yeah, there's just... He kind of glances around over his shoulder to see where the light's coming from in this room.
Mostly from 2 big windows either side of the door and the little one on top of the door.
And just be a trick of the light in here.
You raise the camera again. You can't see her.
Yeah, just...
What was it doing?
you know, just... I guess sometimes casting weird shapes. I guess the camera is picking up a bit strange.
Yeah.
Should get it checked out.
Well, I mean, if you wait for a whole week, you can probably get it checked out at the mainland again.
I need more than a week to get everything sorted here.
I guess we'll start exploring. I'm looking for like any sort of portrait room or like office or study that.
Okay. Are you heading up the staircases or staying downstairs?
Stay down for now.
Fail. Make a cognition check. See what you can find.
11. Not great.
11. Okay. You wander around here for a while. Check behind a couple of the first doors you come across. You see in various states of disrepair and decay, sort of some items strewn around a little bit in some of these rooms. You imagine there may have been vandals through here once or twice. You notice
Squatters.
a dining room, a kitchen, a grand ballroom by the look of it.
Wow.
Nothing particularly personal down here until you come to a door at the back of the lower floor. You open it up and you see this beautiful half hexagonal conservatory space. And looking in there, you're immediately taken with the view out into the Hawthorne grounds and this beautiful, huge grand piano. It looks to be a music room. There's other instruments in the corners. You see a double bass. You see some music stands. A couple of a stack of violin cases. And to one end of the room, a huge family portrait. Ooh, yay!
It is insane that they've left all this stuff, huh? I don't care how rich you are, just... This has gotta be worth a lot of money.
Surely.
Although to be fair, I haven't seen any cars around or anything, so who's really going to come carry it all by hand?
Well, someone had to bring it here in the first place.
I guess.
I'm gonna go up to the portrait.
Yeah.
Film Robin looking at the portrait.
You go on up to the portrait. You can see what must be the whole family here. So you see Cedric Hawthorne, the father, short dark hair, a couple of freckles across his face, got a strict expression even in the portrait. Short beard on his chin, and he's pictured with a hunting rifle, and above him in the frame is like a deer's head mounted on the wall, like in the portrait. Above the family. You see next to him a woman, wild blonde hair, rosy cheeked, sort of slightly plump. You imagine that must be Catherine Hawthorne, his wife. You see an elderly lady, plump, pictured sitting down in front of them, grey hair in a neat bun and hazel eyes, kind face. You don't recognise this as someone who fits any of the descriptions you saw in the newspapers. A young girl who must be Eliza. Looks must be maybe 16, 17 in this portrait. Tawny blonde hair, round face, hazel eyes. Quite a grumpy expression. A young boy who must at this point be maybe only 13 or 14. Dark hair, green eyes and quite a wild expression. Wide-eyed, grinning a little bit for the portrait. And finally you see another young woman who you imagine must be Lyra. Slight, long, tawny blonde hair, one green and one hazel eye.
Is there any like plaque under the portrait with any other information about it, or?
There is a small plaque, it just says 1986.
Okay. I'll just be taking notes about all
Yeah.
of this. With the descriptions of everyone.
Get some funky close-ups of all the different people on the portrait.
Yeah. So I'll be sort of pointing out who everyone must be. So that must be Cedric and his wife Catherine, and
This one. Who's this one?
well, if
Pointing at Lyra.
this was 86 and everything happened in 88, I imagine this one must be Eliza. The boy is Keenan, so I suppose this other girl must be Lyra.
And then Mystery Grandma.
Well, I wondered about that because I got a letter, like, asking me to come here and do all of this. It was from an Alice Hawthorne. And, I mean, there was no mention in the newspaper
But
article,
she
so,
was, yeah.
so I suppose it must be from the grandmother.
As you finish speaking, you just hear the ding of two of the piano keys.
Everybody looks over.
Around like.
Yeah.
You look over at the piano, there's obviously no one there.
Is the lid up?
The lid's
Like,
up.
It's like, look around on the floor to see if, like, maybe a mouse jumped on the key and then fell on the floor or something?
I
Or
can't see anything.
Any dust been disturbed?
Make a cognition check.
12.
You go up to the piano. Notice all the keys are very dusty, and then just the two at the end. Just a little smear through them like someone's just touched them.
Reach out and just ding.
It makes the exact same sound.
That's weird. That's weird.
If I peer through the camera, is there anything weird going on? Any shapes?
You don't see anything strange.
Good.
So you think, ignore the piano for a moment, you think that is Lyra with the...
it must be.
Shit.
What?
Why?
She is the spinning image of what my brother described.
The love of his life.
Yeah.
I'd say he was definitely here then.
And he was here in 88.
Yeah.
But if you figured that, I don't know, they eloped or something, Lyra was never found again, so maybe they...
Maybe they did.
Maybe he eloped with a murderer? Or maybe he did. Oh my god. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm sticking with you guys for a bit. Either way.
Oh,
I mean, we still don't know very much at the moment.
no, it's just speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want some answers.
Well, we're here to get them, so we will.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in here? Like any bookshelves with...
There's a big fireplace.
Ooh.
It's got like two vases of flowers on either end, which are long dead. You know, they're far past smelling even of rot, and they've just basically turned to dust. Dead stems hang out of them, and on the fireplace is also a picture frame, like a photo frame.
Okay.
And in the photo frame, you see Cedric Hawthorne once again, and what must be Catherine Hawthorne, but unlike the portrait, she looks very pale and very gaunt.
Take it out of the frame. Is there anything written on the back of it?
It says 1988, just like penciled onto the back.
So, I don't know, maybe she got sick between 86 and 88 because she looks a hell of a lot healthier in the portrait.
Yeah, maybe. Unfortunate, I suppose.
Happens.
Yeah.
Maybe she got possessed.
Doesn't happen, Chris.
You're the one here to, like, look into what spooky things and cryptics, right?
Yeah, because it makes good TV.
It does make good TV.
Exactly. People like you eat that up.
I'm gonna leave them to their mothers' meeting.
I'm just saying that Americans are obsessed with this kind of thing.
Oh no, I'm not American.
What?
He's Canadian.
Thank you.
How on earth can you tell that?
You can?
Absolutely not.
You're so rude.
It's the most realistic scene we've ever had.
What are you talking about?
As you're leaving the room, you two sort of trailing after Robin on your way out, you hear the slam of the piano lid.
No. No.
Jump and turn and look behind, like, hello?
You look around, and as you turn in your peripheral, you see a girl standing there, but when you look, there's no one.
Likes Matrix.
Alright.
Yeah. Don't eat it up. Grumble and walk past.
You head back out. There is a staircase at this end of the house, like a small one that goes upstairs.
Do I have a look upstairs? See if there's maybe like an office with some accounts or something.
Ideally, I'm looking for an office.
Okay, great.
Okay, you head on up the stairs, maybe another cognition roll to check around to see if you can find an office.
Dirty 20.
9.
10.
I'm so glad that you rolled good.
Okay. You just march on ahead, Jay, with your camera. You're hoping to like get down to the end of a hall and turn around and film these two. And you do. You see them just sort of poking their head in a few doors. You do see a couple of bedrooms, but as you're looking for a study, you keep going for now. And then Jay, behind you, you hear a door just creak open.
Ooh. A little sneaky peeky in the creaky door.
You turn around, and it definitely was closed when you walked down this end of the hall. Push it open. It's a study.
Oh. Bingo.
Huh?
I found the study.
Oh, perfect.
Great, that helps a lot.
Come. Running back.
Robin, you head on ahead. Chris, you hear in your ear.
Turn around.
There's nothing there, but it feels like there is.
I'm just gonna have a step forward and see if, like, look around the corner, see if there's anything here.
You see nothing around the corner. You look down the hall. See an interesting set of double doors down there, but you don't see a person, and then behind you again.
Like, spin and, like, whap with my hand at whatever's near my ear.
Thin air, nothing there. And then from further back down the hall towards the staircase. Harvey.
Did we hear any of this?
Nope, you two head into the office.
Yay!
You head into Cedric Hawthorne's study, an internal room with bookcases on 3 of the walls, an old wooden desk in the centre, like beautifully carved wooden desk, big leather chair behind it. It's quite a simple study room. The bookcases have curtains on, as was often the style in some very old houses. And on the desk there's like a paperweight, another picture of Catherine, like a letter opener, and the desk has some drawers.
And there's no, like, stuffed animal heads or anything on the wall, so this isn't the hunting room or anything.
No.
Cool. Cool.
Like, put the camera down in a place where it can like look at the room and help Robin have a look around.
Look through the drawers and bookshelves and see if we can find anything.
You search through for a good while. There's not much in the way of interesting stuff that pertains to your research, although you do find a photograph of a clearing in the woods, which you're like, strange. And then underneath that, you unfold what looks like a detailed construction plan.
Okay. Like a blueprint of a house, or?
Yeah, sort of like a blueprint of the house, but like a sketched version that, like, rather than one that's been done by a professional, just sort of a sketched version of maybe what Cedric Hawthorne wants. Looks like some sort of basement or something.
Alright.
doesn't mean anything to you, so you keep going, and you find a letter.
Okay.
A letter?
A letter.
Be like a letter.
It's still like it's been taken out of the envelope and obviously stuffed back in afterwards.
Afterthought.
And on the back there's a return address for Eternity Fields residential home in Albury.
Oh.
Okay.
You take the letter out, and it reads, "Dear Mr. Hawthorne, thank you for your payment. Your mother's room is set up and ready for her arrival at your earliest convenience. If Alice has any possessions that you would like in her room here at Eternity Fields, please feel free to send them with her when we collect. Kind regards, Nurse Watts, Eternity Fields, Residential Home, Albury. Dated 1986.
So she wasn't here when
That makes sense.
everything went down.
And then I guess, I don't know why, must have sent you a letter, so we can always go have a chat with her.
Yeah, presumably she's still there and still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if she asked you to come here,
Yeah.
it'd be nice for you to meet her.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she was kind of vague in her letter about what she wanted, so it would be good to
Actually
speak to her
ask.
about it.
Fair enough, I mean,
So yeah, I will take said letter.
yeah, hang on to that for the address.
Yes.
Chris. Outside of the room, you remain stood in the corridor, around yourself, now alone. You look, and there's a bedroom door that you and Robin peeked inside. You swear moves are just a little bit.
Where did the voice come from?
It was behind you, you couldn't tell where, and now you've turned around, you can see this.
Step forward.
Make me a nerve roll.
Oh, Christ.
Rip.
Do it.
Use your setback.
Ha! That's a -1.
-1.
Because I have a -2 for being alone for my nerve roll, and I rolled a 1, so -1.
This is fine.
You step forward to the door and you feel yourself freezing in the frame, chill running down your spine, and you feel like someone breathes against the back of your neck. Harvey!
He throws up.
Reaction to Chunder.
So you retch a bit, freezing there, knees shaking, but maybe you imagine that breath on your neck. Surely. Roll me a sanity check.
Yes!
Oh.
17.
17. Okay, surely you imagined that. You're getting spooked out by Jay's ghost stories.
Yeah.
You don't lose a sanity point.
Thank God.
Feeling confident that you imagined that, you push open the door
Oh
and
my
step
God.
into the room.
Okay.
F.
F.
Big F.
F.
You
Look at L.
see a girl's bedroom. Pretty frilly bed sheets. Some pictures of flowers on the wall. A sort of nice dresser with a mirror attached to it. And these open curtains to these huge windows out to the garden. You look around. Can't tell whose room it would be. But you hear a creak down the far end, like someone walking. You look. Nothing.
Is there anything over there, like furniture-wise, or?
There's the bedside table.
I will tentatively move forward, like it is completely pricked up, just like, can I hit anything? And we'll go over to the bedside table, and have a look and open the drawer maybe.
You pull the drawer open and you see a book about flowers, and inside the book there's some photographs. Polaroid photographs sticking out.
What kind of Polaroids?
You taking out the book and looking through them.
Yep.
You open it up and you see a collection of them, and there's a couple of Polaroid photos of who must be Lyra with the mismatched eyes and her siblings. There's a couple of the family outside in the garden. There's a couple of Harvey Ward. One of them seems to be taken of him and Lyra in the garden talking to each other, doesn't look like they were aware this photo was being taken.
What kind of expressions or like mood do I get from like?
They look contented, like they're just talking to one another happily. There's another of Harvey looking right at the camera and smiling.
Pocket them. The Harvey ones.
As you pull them out of the book, you notice that they're like tucked into the back cover, and you notice that scribbled onto the back cover is like Harvey with a heart. Harvey with a heart. Eliza Ward with a heart.
Huh.
Oh.
Did have a way with the women. So this would be Eliza's room. Oh, you're talking to yourself. That's a cool development. Oh no, I'm talking to myself, not anyone else. That's a neat thing that I'm doing.
Can we hear Chris babbling to himself?
Yes.
Just come out.
As you come out, you hear footsteps running out of the room that Chris is in. You hear it too, Chris. It's just like boom, 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 boom. Footsteps running out of the room, and you hear, Harvey, come chase me.
I do it. I go after them.
You come out of the room, not sure which direction it goes in, and you see these two. You just see Chris standing there, like completely startled, holding a photograph.
Are you okay?
Where did they go? Where did they go? Where did the footsteps go?
I don't know. I thought that was you in the room.
No, where did...
You see something weird?
Chasing ghosts.
At that moment, you come out of the memory. Hawthorne Manor is to your left. You're sure of it, standing on this dirt path in the present. 5 days later.
This is the first path.
This is the first path. Which means Beacon House, the guest house you vaguely remember staying in, must be to the right.
To the right.
We need to get back and...
We do.
Yeah.
Hopefully get our things.
Yeah. Is the Polaroid that I have in my pocket the one from that book then?
Yes. Harvey's smiling up at the camera. You realise the grounds in the background of the photo must be at Hawthorne Manor. But still, you turn right and you head back down the path. Dim torch, sort of giving you a vague light, oil lantern burning low. Chris, as you're walking, you glance back down that path, thinking about your brother, and you swear for just a second you see a young girl, slight, tawny blonde hair, mismatched eyes, watching you from the path. You blink, and she's gone. You carry on, and as the sun starts to rise, you see the lighthouse, and you see Beacon House. You move towards them quickly. You head right up to the guest house, your hiking boots crunching on the gravel path as you approach the door, feeling the slightest bit more sane as you come up to something that you recognise, something that you know. You move up to the front door and push it open. It occurs to you in the back of your mind that it shouldn't be unlocked. And you step inside to find Beacon House in disarray. It's lit again by TV static coming from the living room. The desk that had been Hank's front desk has been shoved up against the wall, blocking off the office, things strewn about across it. You see some lights on, but you don't hear the sound of Hank being home. And you notice immediately, opened still on the desk, is a letter addressed to you. Quickly grab it, you pull it open, and you see on the inside a note that says, "You don't know who I am, but I know things are strange around here, and I think I can help you. Meet me Sunday afternoon at Aubrey Dock." And that is where we'll end.
No!
What is happening?
No.
What's going on, lads?
I hope you've had a good time.
That was so much.
That was a spooky time.
That was so
That was very
much.
tense. Oh god.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Writing notes.
Burn the whole suitcase.
Burn the suitcase.
Thank you so much for writing
you.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for playing.
Thank you for DMing.
Thank you guys for watching.
Our first spooky.
That sounds spooky.
And we will see you again in the town of Aubrey on Adler Island next week for more Beyond the Light.
Oh my god.
Bye!
Bye bye.
There are things in this world that we will never understand. We want answers. Thank you so much for joining us for the first episode of Beyond the Light, and to all of our community over on patreon.com/Nyxrising who made this series possible. If you'd like to support us, consider signing up at Patreon or via the YouTube join button for bloopers, lore, and more. See you next week, if you dare.